Alright, we have an exciting day ahead of us here. We have 5 games.
Yeah, 5 games.
It's definitely going to be an interesting and some banger games. I'm very excited.
Indeed.
Waiting for the...
I guess we're just waiting for the bracket and everything else to come through
Yeah.
and get into it.
So, how are you today, my friend?
Yeah, doing good. I mean, haven't really done much. Went out to get some groceries earlier, but that was about it. How about you?
I'm fine. It's snowy. It's the winter mood outside, so...
A little bit different in the UK, of course. Don't really get much.
yeah, naturally.
Snow here is. I think last year we had it in some ridiculous month like February or March. So once in a blue moon, maybe.
Yeah, no, it has been pretty. It has been pretty sad, honestly, because in Norway, like, it has been snowing, yes, but it's been like not a snowy mood, if that makes sense. It kind of
it doesn't have like the same vibe to it.
No, not at all. So you just kind of sit there and just like, you're just sad.
Just sadness, nothing more.
No, because like the issue is, it's snowing, yes, right, but it's not.
It's not like nice snow.
No, it's just bad snow that is on the ground. It's just like messes everything up, and you're just crying.
Well. We do wonder. I guess we'll just get the information when it comes through, right?
Yeah.
Where's this? Oh.
Got some here.
That what's just come through is who ESP will be facing off against. Was this Carolina Arena?
Carolinera. I think I pronounced it right.
Yeah, if we get any Nordic names, I'll probably butcher the pronunciation. I can speak some Spanish and I can speak Chinese, but Nordic, unfortunately, is not really got the tongue for that.
No, I mean, it helps me being Norwegian, so at least I can understand English.
Wait, why have I rated? Right. Okay, so that's the... Oh, I think... Ah!
Alright, so we are getting into lobby with K5 here. Carolinera.
The main expectation is just everything on the new patch with the bruiser items, and I mean Zeri getting nerfed down a little. Don't think there was too many other significant champ changes off the top of my head outside of Quinn getting a pretty large buff to her R.
Yeah, Queen got a quite significant one, I would say, honestly.
Yeah.
It's quite weird. I don't know why they decided to buff her, honestly. But on the other hand, Jen has been nerfed, so that's a good
Yes.
thing. Highly doubt we'll actually like see some Jen as my top lane.
No, I mean, what they got played like once in an official match, and that was it. But
Spanish League?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
So that was honestly quite weird, to be honest. but yeah, we did see some. For some reason, we saw Sona mid yesterday in the LC.
Yeah, that was Nuke Duck piloting that one.
Yeah, that no.
No, I mean, I'm glad that didn't actually perform well, because otherwise people are jumping on the train of Sona mid, and I don't really particularly want to see that anywhere.
Well,
Like, I think the concept was there. You wanted to enable your carries on that team and get your ADC running around everywhere, but
yeah,
I think you sacked too much for it.
So, okay, wait, hold on. I was gonna see this yesterday, because I needed to, or I wanted to check the stats, because the goal graph for Corky there, because he went the cull as well, which is worth noting. So it gives him
last one was just completely completed call at like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was
Got
disgusting.
like 115 CS. Corky in general at the moment has been toned down a little bit with the package timer, which means you have to be a little bit more clever with when you actually decide to pick that thing up, but he's doing just as much damage with both the Shield Bow and Udin's builds.
For sure. Yeah, it really helps a lot. Oh, great.
Hello?
Good times, Discord crashing.
Typical.
You gotta love it. But yeah, let me see here. So that entire game with Sona mid, because I want to talk about it. Sona mid did 7k damage. And somehow Marcoon managed to do less damage with Lee Sin.
Interesting.
Extreme interesting.
I do think there were some other variables going on with that game, obviously. Rogue right now, very, very impressed with in terms of like LSE performance, and push the narrative again. No one expected them to do this well. So, I mean, if you're getting this record in any region, it's impressive. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's I mean, Malrang has been performing quite well, but honestly, the new, there were some questions with getting the new lineup and all that kind of stuff, but it seems to be going well.
Draft is being done on Draft LOL, so I think that should be starting soon.
Yep, I am trying my best to get it to. Where is it? Here we go. All right, we are into draft.
Right.
So, speaking of lineups, we have ESP RC and K5. ESP, the ones we're casting for here today. It's worth noting, ESP has been playing this lineup for quite a bit now, except the jungler. So yeah, they're quite used to the lineup they have. But we are into Champ Select now. Akshan Draven, Bard being banned.
Just targeting the bot side completely, of course. Akshan has been played a lot in solo lanes as well, but looks like they really want to target the bot lane of K5, perhaps looking to prioritize that element, as we see the Jhin banned out in response, along with the Gwen and Bard for ESP. And that is an immediate Blue 1 Zeri. Of course, Zeri having been toned down a little bit on this patch, but it should still actually be quite strong. I mean, Zeri pretty good with Enchant at the moment, allowed to stall out the lane, also get a lot of value of the on hits. But any opinions on Zeri?
Why? Why would you pick this champion? What does it bring to the table that no other champion does? It's... My issue with it is it just doesn't do anything cool. It like only it only runs around and does like mediocre damage, and one bit of like, and you're not even that far range. But in a response, Aphelios and Xin Zhao being picked up, and I think Xin Zhao into Seri is a really good pick here because click, point and click, CC, and Seri's dead.
Yeah. CC, and you have the Crescent Guard as well, which helps a lot. Ferris out, of course, wanting to duel a little bit more in person. Ferris doesn't do quite as well into Zeri lane, necessarily, because Zeri just kind of just get outspaced for the most part, but at the same time, Zeri can't do much to you either. So I'd expect it to be a bit of a farm fest, and in regards to a farm fest, we do see the Corki in the mid lane.
As long as we don't see a Sona here. Everything but please.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
okay, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
who's hasn't seen this before? Yeah, Monkus, fucking resident sleeper, right?
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
Interesting. Of course, jungle as Viego's in. Kind of expect pretty standard out of these two. Viego, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to fit onto the ESP comp with how Zeri and Corgi want to play. But at the same time, it does sort of prevent Felios and Xin, these champions that want to be a little bit more further up in your face, from being able to play as well in a team fight.
Nodless. I was going to suggest Thresh, but then I realized Nodless is actually way better, considering you can point and click that R on Zeri.
Exactly. I don't think point click is good on Zeri, because the immense amount of move speed she gets.
Just runs around going burr.
Yep, pretty much. That is Zeri gameplay. Braum. I actually don't know how Braum's stun passive interacts with Zeri's autos.
It's only one per
Only
hit.
one, yeah, okay.
So it's not like you Q and it
just immediately stuns them.
yeah. Oh gosh, that would be so broken. Imagine.
Yeah, that would be a little bit disgusting. But of course, Braum, the Unbreakable, they're really good into Victor and the Moonlight Vigil from Aphelios. See Gragas, that's going in the top side. I mean, Gragas able to neutralize most lanes, kind of just sit it out and then provide an engage tool for the team later on with the cast.
It's worth noting we don't know yet. It could be jungle, Viego, and Gragas.
Oh yeah, this is true.
It's a small thing, but I would assume it's Gragas top lane. It's a much safer pick, and Viego just... Yeah, I think it just has, in general, just like a better jungle.
Yeah, Viego top has been nerfed into ground, I would say, after a few patches. Okay. Be interesting to see which build comes out. There's obviously been a lot of debate between the Shield Bow and Eclipse builds.
True, yes. So, I mean, it's not that viable, but Xin Zhao top lane could be a thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, should be. I mean, mid and top does just look like it is going to be quite passive for the most part. Whilst I would expect that most of the action comes into the bot lane. But how do you think that the two teams really want to play into each other? What's the priority going to be for both these junglers?
I'm not sure, honestly. It's a bit of a weird one, I feel. I mean, mid lane, it's the most basic matchup ever. Like, farm.
Yeah, farm until X amount of items and then go and do something with your team. Maybe occasionally you might be able to make a roam play if there's an objective up.
Yeah, that's about it, honestly. But okay, assuming... Oh, I can change it over to in-game draft here. Assuming everything is as the champ select order says, it is Graves top lane and Gragas top lane. What does make the most sense? Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. We'll find out when we load into the Rift, of course. But I think the main priority, keep an eye on the bot lane, keep an eye on the junglers, because I think this is where most of the action is going to be. It depends. Both these bot lanes can be very important. Both Zeri and Aphelios really like to be accelerated because they scale off of items so well. So I'm looking really just to see how well both teams, ESP and K5, play around this bot side.
Yeah. So, one thing I wonder actually is how top lane is going to be played out. Is Gragas going to go AP, or is he going to go full tank?
I think the full tank build currently with the Fimbulwinter, I mean, sometimes it comes with Everfrost, sometimes it comes with tank mythics.
Yeah.
But that is currently, I think, seeing more play overall. Don't quote me on that stat. I'm not confident in it, but I have seen it more, at least in the games that I have watched.
Yeah, we can check.
But I feel like you need that front line into this. You have enough damage via Corki, Zeri, and then Viego in the conflicts that are going to break out where Viego can do something.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you go AP, you might be a little too frail.
Yeah. At the same time, honestly, I'm not too sure about the Gragas pick either, because I don't think he will ever actually have the proper opportunity to stack his E passive. So that bonus armor is kind of weird. I would have liked to see a Ornn or something similar to that. Instead, we do have Renekton, Camille, and Akshan being banned as potential top lane champ. Gwen actually as well.
Yeah, of course, both Elijah and Goob have been playing a lot of Gwen, both of them, and Elijah being very prolific on the Renekton, as we've seen over this season and last season. So the Renekton ban is quite expected here to try and neutralize that top lane, and I imagine the ASP will just try and pivot down and prioritize the bot side this game, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. Renekton, I don't know. Subscribe to the Church of Alice maybe a little bit too much, but Renekton is just there.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you that currently I think Renekton is in a very bad spot. And whilst stats aren't necessarily something you want to go by, but Renekton is sitting in the 40% region of win rate across all regions if you average it currently in Pro, which is not particularly great. Because this is being played by good and bad teams. It's, well, quote unquote, good and bad teams in terms of what you'd expect them to perform into. So stats show that it isn't working, and most of the time I feel there are better early game picks if you really want to try and snowball a game than Renekton.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Gragas stats here. It actually is a straight up 87% buy rate for Fimbulwinter.
Right, okay.
If you're looking at purely mythics, it's a 75% for Chemtech and 19% for Everfrost. Still, that Everfrost can be built with the quote-unquote tank build. It gives you some additional setup CC, but I don't think you really need that in this comp, so I actually expect Gragas to go Chemtech. But speaking of other mythics, Xin Zhao. Are we going to see Shieldbow or Gore Drinker? And Graves, are we going to see Shieldbow or Eclipse? Both of, or all of them? It's quite good, I would say.
At least on Graves, I do think the Eclipse is a lot better into this team. You're not going to be in these super brawly fights where you're able to really use that sustain and the just consistent damage that the shield bow build allows you to have. Whereas on the other end, it will be a little bit different. We don't need to pause to sync up this stream, do we?
No.
Oh, well, they're gonna pause anyway.
It's the pause. It's the pause as I transition. Yeah, I don't know. It's we're going to see. It's definitely going to be a very explosive game, I would say.
A summoner has disconnected.
But a disconnect coming as well.
Yeah, just some issues on K5's side, it looks like, but should all be resolved momentarily, as hopefully it won't be too long of a pause. Don't really want any LCK style intermissions today.
Please don't. Please don't. I mean, we're definitely, as long as we're not in a proper lull state, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, ignoring the Corki Victor and the Gragas Graves, I mean, yeah, it should be okay. No completely passive lane, just farming the entire time.
Yeah. Let me see here if everything could be working. That would be actually very great. It's been a little while since streaming has been for core focus of my part.
Yeah, unfortunately, my production knowledge is not the greatest. I can operate a few things, but I think that's about as far as it goes. Very thankful to everyone who has produced anything with me in the past. We do see K5 moving into the topside river, looking for a fade right here. Okay, just going to ward out the topside and leave.
I am genuinely not sure where my UI went here. I am very confused as to why my UI is gone. Hold on here.
Minions have spawned.
Ah, there we go. Alright. Still no champion health though. Oh my gosh, alright.
So both teams going to be starting pretty standard. They also have each other warded out here, so don't really expect any different pathings from both Magic Pants and Goober than as what you'd normally expect out of a game of this type. Yeah, nothing special. Graves just starting top, of course, a little bit earlier than Gragas because of the leash on the top side.
Yeah, nothing too exciting, honestly. We do have first strike coming in for both Victor and Corki, so more gold, yay!
Yeah, just looking to get those trades over into lane here. I think mostly it's just been sometimes you see the Airy on the Victor. It's pretty more of a lane dominant rune rather than the first strike, but first strike is pretty damn good right now on both of those champions, able to make that extra gold for the poke that they offer.
Yep. Yeah, we do see both junglers. They're kind of just fine with it. They're handshaking. They're going to have each their own scuttles. So I don't.
Yeah,
think...
just chilling at the moment. You know, just wait until we see a gank happen, because we're not going to get the most action. Of course, Rotu are actually getting a really nice trade on here. Victor is actually favoured in this lane state overall, but of course has a little bit more trouble killing the Corki.
Yeah, I would point out though, Sincha was doing a very weird one, where he did full bot side into red buff, although his top laner was hard pushed in. So that's a bit of a strange one, but I guess he's fine with it. Meanwhile,
yeah,
Diego...
I mean, I suppose he wants to secure the vision there.
Yeah, but Diego full cleared here, and you can see actually bot lane is moving up with him for this scuttle.
Might be seeing something happen in mid. Either Diego's going to try and make a play here onto Victor, or we're just going to see, yep, just going to go in there, get some damage, or force him back, but nothing much else.
Yeah, it's see a little bit of presence mid here. Should be fine. So I think they did spot out. Both
Ooh,
junglers
nice
definitely
interrupt.
spotted out. So
Yep, base, get your items, come back into the game, rinse, repeat. Looks like it's just going to be the formula here for all the lanes. They'll be trading to the top lane, but nothing too out of the ordinary.
let me see. Are you watching in your client or my stream, Discord stream?
Currently in my client, but I
Alright.
can sync. I can sync to you if that's
Yeah,
better.
mine is way far behind here.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it that way. Yeah, then we can all be on the same thing. What I will do is this, and then should be synced up to your stream now.
Yep. Great, great, great. A little bit of a last moment stream here for me. I was not going to do production originally, but here we are.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, well done to get everything done in this amount of time.
it was
It's
kind of a
definitely not
panic.
something I could do. Yeah, seeing Shin coming out for Zoe this early on, another call for the Corki, as I mean, you're just going to be sitting here for 20 minutes.
Yeah, Tier and
However,
Cole.
Infernal Drake has spawned as we do see ESP rolling up to that right now. It should just be really easy Infernal. I don't think that K5 ever are able to contest this with the lane states they're in. I mean, the fact that their bot lane just banked.
Yeah. No, so I don't know if Essence River is really a thing you build on Zeri, so I guess it's the Triforce. Although they did buff crit. Crit on Zeri.
Yeah.
They did buff it, as far as I just roughly remember.
Yes, the crits, you can now, the splash on Hurrah, those now crit as well. They lowered the base damage slightly at higher ranks.
Okay.
Those splashes they can now crit, and there's a pretty decent ratio on that. I mean, it's a lot of damage, so there is potential maybe for a Essence Reaver type build on her, but I think someone would have to lab it to really see whether that does actually do more damage than the Triforce right now.
Yeah. Let me see, Flash?
Ooh.
We're having to flash her actually out.
Yeah, Mysterious not having the greatest time in this lane. I mean, it is expected into the Victor. You are going to have a very nice early game, but the whole concept is you play the Corki, he does a lot of damage, you have Package is really good, and you just kind of stall out the lane. We do have a little bit of a play here, trying to contest the blue, but extras are coming, Zeri will be rooted up here, a lot of damage going into that, however, Goober on the other side, and that will be the first blood donated over to Rotshu. Unfortunately, SP just seems to get collapsed on right here, Magic Pants going back in, stunned up, will die, but that is a lot of kills over to K5 on the whole. 4 kills to none, 4 kills to 1 even. Pretty big early lead for K5.
Yeah, that is quite brutal. I don't understand why ESP is in their jungle right there. You are looking for a play, yes, but that could have not turned out any worse on, or maybe, okay, Zeri could have not gotten a kill, so at least it's the 4-4-1. But yeah, still that is very, very rough.
Or Scuba making play up to the Rift Hell, trying to get something in response there. At least if you can pick that up, maybe try and put it into the middle of the top lane, you might be able to get something out of plates here. But this Victor looks like it's pretty accelerated with the money he's just gotten donated to him.
Oh yeah. Let me see here, does the technology work? Because if it does, well, there's the gold graph on screen. And the gold tab as well. Victor quite ahead in gold here, almost 500 gold ahead of the Corki. So yeah, it's first strike, don't know how much that did. Magic Pant's in a little bit of trouble here though, overextending and trying to invade.
I think I'm Go. Right, yeah. I actually didn't catch that bit there because I had a bit of an issue with my Discord. So as we do come back into Goober going to stun, Alex Straza up, Dempsey here, of course, for the rest of it, and that should be a Nautilus kill. Yep, that's picked up by Goober on the Viego. Really good from ESP here to be able to make a return play on the top side, getting a little goal.
Yep. Not sure where Nautilus is there. I guess they were looking for some vision, but the Rift Herald is already taken, so there's not really a lot you have to do there. You kind of just... there was a lane swap there, so Aphelios was top grabbing the wave, but yeah, I don't know. A little bit of a miss macro, I would say. And unfortunate there. You already know that your jungler was just killed topside, so in my opinion, the support Alex Trust should back off. Okay, we know. Oh my gosh. There we go. OBS seems to be having a little bit of a stroke today.
Oh, when is it not?
Good times, good times. I mean, to be sure, I'm running a lot of development software here, so...
Yeah, of course. So gold relatively even at the moment. Of course, the main thing to look at right now is that Mouse will be spawning in around 5-10 seconds. And this is really what we're going to be looking at right here with the plays. K5 do have the entire place visioned up. They will be starting it out now, but I think ESP do want to contest this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And will just be secured up very easily. I mean, you might be able to make a play. Viego W is charging. There will be the Fisher coming out from the end. That looks like Magic Pants is just dead. Package coming through. Mysterio seeing if they can get anything onto Rockhue here. Of course, Zeri being able to E over the wall. A lot of damage in response. Flash out will not die here, as there's a little bit of trading in the top lane.
Yeah, Juggernaut still has ultimate here. There's a very good chance that there could be a kill.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow, and that is a solo kill for Jordan in the top lane right there, and, well, I mean, this is just Graves into Gragas. The thing about Gragas is, well... Okay, we get more action in the bot lane. Goober going in onto Alex Straza, will just die into the Moonlight Vigil, able to auto-run, but I don't think you can get this now without your ult gone. If you hit that moonshot, she still doesn't die there, but bit of a misplay there from the jungle, maybe a little bit too overzealous.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit trigger happy there. I'm not too sure if he had his Divine Sunder when he died. He might have gotten it on the back. But yeah, probably don't go into melee range of a Nautilus.
It's the greatest idea. I mean, can't really get onto the Aphelios, so... Yeah, is the Ludens complete on the Victor? Sometimes we do see the Crown, but we do have the Ludens this game, and yeah, Corki not having much fun.
Yeah, no, in my opinion, Ludens is fine. It's actually the correct choice. Crown here does not actually give you too much. And Ludens just, like, you're already ahead in lane here, as I said, and you kind of just want to push that. You're pretty much the only poke in your team, and honestly, Crown is just going to get procced by Corki package or Corki ult anyways, so why?
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't necessarily get massive trade from Mysterious on. I don't think you have lethal, but it's a lot of damage onto the Victor, and you might be able to find it later in lane. There was, of course, a Rift Herald pop down in the bot lane, and that is gold donated over to the bot lane of ESP. I'm not sure how that split and who that actually went to, but either way, that is gold into your pocket. Currently a 1k gold lead for K5, but nothing too big at this point in the game.
Yep, and once again, ooh, wait a minute.
Really nice cast. Should actually be a kill here, potentially. Okay, not quite enough damage after the tower shot when the fleet came through. Still looking for it though.
Yeah,
Does have the flash available. Yeah, flash body slam, and that will be a solo kill for Elijah. Really nice play there to recognize that the Graves are a little bit overextended. As we do see Zeri getting engaged onto that will be the depth charge, and Magic Pants diving in as well. A little bit too much damage. Goober might be able to kill Darko. Really nice flash back, but will take the tower shot. Now gets a reset. This might just be Viego City here, as Alex Graza taking a lot of damage. You are the Aphelios now, and you get the ult afterwards. Mysterious coming in from bot lane, and it just looks like macro heaven as ESP win all over the entire map.
Yeah, that is such a good turnaround. Like, having Zeri being caught there and immediately just collapsing and turning it around. That, like, first of all, you have a Sin and a Nautilus, like, immediately just on top of the Zeri. Should be dead. Should be over. But somehow they managed to turn that around, and really well done.
Yeah,
And
definitely. That's going to balloon the gold a little bit now. A lot more even with 300 gold advantage. So, again, nothing significant, but now you're coming from a deficit to a slight advantage here. Looking for next objective, of course, being the Ocean Drake in a minute's time.
But yeah, for the first time here as well, actually, ESP is in a gold lead since the early game. Where farming was the only thing. But yeah. I guess we can bring up the gold tab as well. So we do actually have Aphelios with the most gold here, but top lane.
We do see a play Elijah and Goober coming in, and I think you're a little bit too overextended. Cast into the tower, and that will be Goober on a killing spree as he gets the kill onto the Graves. Not sure if he can make anything more happen, but Dempsey does look like he's looking for it. Take a lot from the Siphon Power and the Death Ray, and I think should just back out of this play. Yeah,
yes.
There is a tower though for K5 in the bot side.
Yeah, so they do manage to get the cross map off. Oh, one thing I'd point out, Prince Elijah's Gragas casks here is on point. I mean, it's been on point. That's some Gragas mechanics you don't see every day, I feel like. So yeah, but we do have a pretty good cross map. We do have 2 to 1 tower, bot lane being heavily pushed out here, and actually K5 should be able to get the dragon off of this.
Yeah, using the bot priority and the play in the top, so of course trying to make something happen, and bot whilst these guys are up top trying to do Rift Herald. We'll take a lot of damage from here. Victor should just be able to kill his Braum here. Will go golden, and I think that might be a bit too much damage for the Corki. Does get the Siphon Power, wasted the flash however. Elijah going to see if he can do something on top lane. Of course, Xin and Graves is a very prominent duo and will pick up the kill onto Q, but that is a 1-for-1. Oh no, 1-for-2 actually, so it is in favour of K5, but you do get the objective at least.
Oh yeah. But you can see here, we were talking about it earlier in Champ Select, we do have the Chem Tank on the Gragas, and we do have the Eclipse and Graves. Oh, almost have to play there. And the Gore Drinker on
Flash.
On Xin Zhao, so opting for the tanky build on Xin Zhao, but top lane.
Not sure about that package usage right there. Going for a trade onto K5, you would not, I think. I mean, that's still probably Butcher, but let's
Still
see
fishy.
if Corki can make this happen. Big one coming through soon. Might be able to get it if he keeps going for it, but unfortunately doesn't have the visions. A little bit scared to go over that bush.
Yeah, I don't know, that Mysterious a little bit trigger happy there, going in with the TP into package. Nobody was there, but both of them, like both Not and Mysterious, doing a really good job of avoiding skill shots there. So yeah, not a lot coming out of it. The package should not. It's 5 minutes, so it should not be up for the next Dragon fight nor the Baron fight, which is a huge engage tool gone for ESP.
Yeah, absolutely. Do really want to have that up. Of course, package timers having the nerf, you're just a little bit more careful with the timers on that one sometimes. Maybe delaying a pickup until the next objective to ensure that you have that advantage. Of course, the next dragon won't be spawning for quite some time, so see if ESP can do anything. They do, of course, have the Rift Herald, and that is got about a third of its timer left, so we'll see what they try and do with that one. Maybe try and put it into one of the side lanes, or even try and take that tier 2 mid.
Yeah, I would prefer to be plopped down mid, get a lot more map control. We do have... I would criticize a little bit the vision from K5 here. It's barely any. At least it's a little bit more for ESP, but it's quite weak, I would say.
Might be a play coming in here. Extraza does land the hook onto the Braum here. Glacial Fissure in response along with 2 TPs, but that's a lot of damage on the support. If the area can get a reset, it might just be lights out for K5. Unable to get anything else, but that's a lot of damage from Victor as Magic Pants does go down. Extraza still dead. You're not coming down as well, but I think too much damage from here like that from ESP, but the core kit is just insane right now. Mysterious going in, but Victor does see these low health bars and he might be able to clean up the entire game. Siphon Power, Death Ray, I think he should just be able to keep going onto Prince Elijah, the amount of damage he has.
I can't do anything with it.
ESP do have to back out of this one. Looked really good for a moment there, but the Victor may be a little too strong.
Yeah, honestly, Rother played that really well, however, might be a little bit greedy here.
Yeah, I think you just have to recognize that Machine Man over here is now got 6 kills. He's got a loot, he's got a rod, burn him up to that Shadow Flame, and just respect him, you know?
Yep. Rift Arrow being dropped in base there, so it's going to go top side. At least try an A mid bot side. I don't know what happened there. Bot here, we can see on the turret here, actually it's quite low, so one charge would immediately get it.
We're really trying to contest this vision.
Yeah.
Baron, of course, now has spawned. Ocean Drake in 1 minute, so keep an eye on both of these things. Of course, it would be quite early to do a Baron, but if you get an advantage, you get a pick maybe onto Goober, and that could open up.
Yeah, well, Aphelios has the... I do not remember the name of the guns at this point. He does have the Crescendum. So he should be able to, yeah, so he should be taking objectives really, really fast. So it could be scary. They could potentially do a Baron, honestly, but they are not going to risk it.
Also, ESP have the entire boss board, and they are going to look to set up vision and make a play around for this Ocean Drake. Right now, it's spawning in about 10 seconds, get the bot tower as well with that, and they seem to have complete priority over this objective.
Yeah, and looking at vision here, there's no vision at all for K5 for the bot side here, so they don't know if they're actually doing Drake, but they are going to look for the trade to give up the Drake, and they're going to take the Baron instead here. We can see it's absolutely being shredded.
Yeah, as those Crescendum chakrams coming out, does however look like K5 want to see if they can make a play onto it. Zeri W going down, Elijah with the engage, followed up by the Glacial Fissure, and Straza is just dead. Baron going down to 400 health. K5 will secure it, but will they pay it in advance? Well, that's rocky. A lot of damage coming down. Darker with the Crescendum, unable to get the kill there, but Goober, I mean, this Victor is just running down the entirety of ESP. It will be a triple kill for the Victor, and that will be the Baron. K5 looks like they win out on that play almost completely.
Oof. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, they did 50-50 it. I don't know if Gubber actually had Smite. It is on quite a long cooldown now, so maybe did have it. But honestly, that was well played by K5, playing to their advantage here, and Victor is just so strong, 9-in-1 with the Shadow Flame and Lutens. Just doing so much damage, honestly. I wish I could, yeah, I'm excited to see the damage graph for this game.
Yeah, the question you certainly have to ask is whether you want to actually let that Victor through. I mean, we might see this happen in future permutations if Victor ends up becoming a problem this game later on. I mean, it's arguable. I mean, it's probably a problem right now for ESP.
Yeah, well, we should do an item checkup, honestly. You can also do a gold checkup. We do see... Yeah, as expected, the 2 first strike users on top with 12k, honestly, and then ADCs is actually quite far behind 3k gold lead for the Aphelios over the Zeri. Hold on here though.
Still, might be Cloud's position. Magic Plants will be able to make the play. Rocky just coming up. He's just going to one-shot the Corki, but he's going to get almost one shot in return. I think he lives. I don't know if that Ignite Tick is actually going to kill him, but Magic Plants going forward right here. A lot of damage coming from those. Goober on the backline trying to kill Extras. If he can get a reset, he might be able to make something happen. But Elijah will be taking a lot of damage here from Magic Plants, and Darker coming down. And I think Darker might have overextended. No, not quite enough. Magic Plants does die to Zeri in return, but Elijah will go down as well. However, we do see a lot of play coming in. Goober here trying to go in with the Heartbreaker.
Zeri's aligned.
Using the Zeri, but unfortunately there's too much damage from Rockyu there. Unfortunately, ESP weren't quite able to kill him in the fight earlier.
Yeah, and honestly, that fight is a good example of how useless Zeri is. It's so extremely situational, and no, and also not being able to kill that Victor there is... Oh, I don't know how he lived. He must have lived on like 2 HP. Like single digit. There's no way he didn't.
Yeah, it's just very unfortunate because the Ignite, it just wasn't that, if he got maybe like a sliver of damage, maybe one more proc on Corki's W, and I think he would have died, and the fight definitely would have gone in ESP's favour if that Victor went down. So I think that's the only thing really stopping M4 from being able to go further forward into that. But now, of course, looking at 3k gold deficit, your structures are lower than K5, so what do you think that ESP need to do to try and get back into this game with an advantage?
Right now, honestly, you should just try to catch off the Victor. You can see he's having a good time and he's going in. You can see he was like in melee range of Braum there as well, and honestly, you should just exploit that. Try to exploit it as much as possible. Get that pick off, and yeah, get him out of the fight. And honestly, you remove a lot of the power K5 has right now. We do see the Drake up in 40 and already she can hit that. Oh, Magic Pants here.
Magic Pants going in here. Glacial Fissure in return. Will be able to back on Magic Pants. There's a lot of damage onto ESP. Package coming through, but you just get killed by Rochu here. Unfortunately, you don't have enough damage to get Magic Pants with the thing. Well, that's a massive engage from Elijah. 3 with the body slam, and I think that might be what ESP needed to get back into this game.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Gubber there being able to pick up... Yeah, Gubber there being able to pick up Victor is huge. They're still actually looking for Graves here, though.
Actually being able to look for Graves. I think Diego has enough damage to get this kill here. 2 on 1. I don't think you make it. That's an ace for ESP.
And a clean one at that as well. A clean ace being able to pick up for ESP. And yeah, this Viego is huge. So yeah, the dragons here, soul points as well. Yeah, I mean ESP is back in the game. It's they have a gold lead again. Honestly, I'll bring up the gold graph here because yikes.
I mean, it's almost looking like an LPL gold graph right here with these peaks.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm not too sure. I can't see it properly, but I think it's like a 5.9k, 3.9k gold lead they were at, but they are now back to a lead for ESP.
Of course, ESP back in the game now, but you do have to consider that the game is still very, very even right now. Rochu on this Victor is still very capable of one-shotting anyone ESPs. They have to dance around that matter of the fact, but honestly, Elijah this game looking really solid on the Gragas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That Gragas cost that fight was huge. Here, hold on though.
Magic Pants onto Mysterious. He might have been a little bit overzealous with that dive. Getting a lot of damage onto Mysterious, but take a lot in return himself. Not sure if you can necessarily go for this Baron, as we do see them getting pincered here. Just have to be careful about the machine. How It's a rocket from Mysteria is just picking up that one. I think K5 went a bit in trouble. Another range from Elijah over here. Damage coming onto Rocky. As long as you kill that Victor, I think you can win the fight. Unfortunately, he does get picked up by the Brom here, and is that enough? That is the question. Zeri being able to use those autos, being able to use the move speed, but unfortunately not enough damage. Just gets killed by the Greys. Daka onto the Gragas here. Elijah seeing if he can get himself out. Dempsey trying to get out here, but unfortunately will be an ace in return for JK5, and they might try and end the game here. Pick up that mid wave and push down mid.
Wait, where is... Hello? Alexstrasza's in bait? What? He's holding the wave already? Okay, what an absolute mad lad. He does have the X-Slice to get in and out. Okay, that's a huge fight, and honestly, Victor survived that for way too long.
You got the kill on the Victor in the end, but I think it was just a little too late. You took a bit too much in punishment.
That's quite unfortunate. I believe, let me double check, I think the Brom was the one who got the shutdown on him as well.
Yeah, Brom picked up the kill on the Victor there with his Q.
Yeah, so he got the shutdown as well, which is a little bit unfortunate. And Baron, it has been picked up now by K5, and the gold is back to pretty even actually. Oh wait, no, it's not pretty even. It's 2k. But it is 2k at 30 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the lead is significant enough, but it's there.
It's there. It's there.
Alright, so what do you think K5 really need to do here with this Baron? I mean, what do you think they're looking for? Just going to run it down mid and see if they can get mid tower and open up the base, or do you expect them to try and split the map a little bit more? And,
I would prefer a 1-4. Graves as the one. You can probably even do a 1-3-1 here with Victor and Graves, because Victor is just so strong right now. You need a heavy response, and from ESP and the ESP.
Seeing a response from ESP right here.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Honestly, if their waves was synced up now, it would be a lot better. Yeah, we do see the shadow. See, okay. The math dictates. The math dictates basically whenever you pass 50 MR, Shadow Flame is no longer worth it, and you should buy a Void Staff instead.
Right.
Unless you buy both. Sword Boots is not enough Magic Pen to basically say that, okay, Shadow Flame is fine. Because, let's look at it. Graves has 94 MR. Xin Zhao has 92 MR. Victor Aphelios does not have enough MR, and Nodles does have enough MR. So it's fine. Shadow Flame is good here, unless you're actually targeting the tanks.
Yeah,
but he gets hooked out.
Alexstrasza does get an engage, forced to use the package to be able to get out of that and, of course, stay alive there. But as long as the Corki stays alive, you should have a chance. Unfortunately, the package does have to get used. Elijah will be taking a little bit of damage, but his Gragas is very tanky right now. Okay, block the Calibration, but K5 have control, and it looks like they're trying to deny this soul. But of course, it's still a point for ESP, so I think you can give this one up.
Yeah, no, they just give it up, and they say we take mid turret, but we don't get mid turret. Okay.
Yeah. That happened.
ESP, they were being a little bit split on the decision, it seems. Not too sure if they wanted, like, they at least get one thing if you're trading for an objective.
Yeah, normally you would expect to try and... Well, you know what? Let's leave the break. Let's try and get something out to the map in return, because we don't think you can win this fight, but I think maybe it's the decision making there just wasn't quite quick enough to be able to capitalize on that.
No. It would have been fine, like, they do... Well, it's also worth noting, they did take the Drake and then Baron recall back as well, so you did really quickly get it off.
Yeah, of course, Baron. Baron allowing you to be able to get back to base quickly enough to be able to put up a defense versus that. And of course, you don't want to overextend too far. If you overextend too far in that situation, the K5 just straight up win the game.
Yeah. Well, we should do an item check, I feel, because there is some full builds are starting to come in. Victor almost full build, and Aphelios as well almost full build here. Just probably going to finish those stopwatches. So that stopwatch is definitely going to be important for the next fight. I don't... As long as Corky stays alive and is able to shoot out those packages, I think the fight is won. He will not have that package for another 2.5 minutes, so it is going to be in time for the Drake fight. Well, we'll see if he if the game goes that long, because honestly, a Baron fight here could be the deciding factor, and I'm not sure if he even go to soul points.
Yeah, it does look like in the next team fight, the victor will decide the outcome of this game. Very, very tense right now. Both teams on 3 dragons, both teams effectively with an even gold lead. I mean, this is late enough in the game to the point where the gold lead that K5 do have is not going to be significant enough. Baron will be spawning soon. Both teams trying to set up some vision around it, and well, what do you think ESP need to do in this one?
Well, first of all, that's a lot of poke. But here comes the
That's
engage,
a lot of things. There's the engage onto the Nautilus here. I'm not sure if that's what you want. Zen will be able to pop the Quasar dive into here, but you really need to get onto this Victor, which is taking a lot of damage. Corky doing a lot here, but Victor annihilating the rest of the team. Now I'm currently looking at 2v3. No, 2v2. Magic Pants is down. Does mean that you can't do the Baron here. Trying to maybe get a mid turret. They need to recall and see if they can defend this, but Goober might be able to stop those.
Yeah, single out here. Jordanot is a little bit late on the recall, and he actually does pick up the kill there. So good shutdown, and are they going for... There is pings on Baron here. They're actually going for it.
I guess you can do this. Zeri and Viego this late in the game should be able to do this, but you do have to be aware that this Victor might just be able to kill you.
He does have the flash. I'm not sure if that gives vision.
I think Rochu is aware of this. Just okay, gonna flash away. Just kills there. Really well played, but we deny the Baron from ESP. I'm not sure if Goober can really make the play. He's still gonna keep it leashed. I mean, you have the TP from Elijah in 3 seconds.
Yeah, Mysterious is here as well. Rotu has the TP, and they do force them off.
Alright, gonna be both teams backing away here, however. ESP in disadvantage because you're currently playing for E5 until Zeri respawns in 25 seconds. Okay, might be looking at... I mean, I think K5 can just start this up. And they do so. Alright. ESP gonna have to put up a defense. Will be engaged onto Dempsey here. Elijah on the side. Reaching out. Baron will just be secured. Really, really quick burn. I mean, at this point in the game, it's going to go down quickly. You have an Aphelios, you have a Victor, you have a Graves.
Yeah, and we have to look at the Drake. It's in 20 seconds, and K5 is just marching in here, pushing the wave, so at least somebody's going to have to catch that one. And we do... Corky does have the package. We'll see about this, though. Midwave seems to be pushed now. It should be cleared. And I think, honestly, the game is going to be decided by this fight for sure.
Absolutely. If ESP can get the win here, they should just be able to push it down mid, and likewise with K5. Engage onto Goober, the package in the backlane just gets completely annihilated. Now you're looking at 3v5. I don't think you have the damage. Zeri firing off as many autos as she humanly can right now, but I think it's just too little, too late right now. Darker coming in, still able to dish out the damage, but it's just not enough, and it looks like K5 should be able to end the game right here.
Yeah, I don't even think they need to take the Drake here. They're literally just going to march down mid lane, and that is going to be the game. The first game for today for ESP, and K5 is going to end here. And I'm not too sure. Like, I understand Mysterious there trying to go for like the hero package play. But
at the end of the day, what else can you do in that situation?
Yeah,
I think you have to try and find a pick with it.
Yeah, for sure. You need to go for the engage there and bring up the gold graph before it ends. Yikes.
Yeah.
That is a pretty hefty gold graph, honestly. Ending the game on a 7.3k gold lead. So, whew, all right.
But at the end of the day, what we did see from ESP, we saw a lot of great fights, honestly. I mean, you're fighting in deficits, you're fighting in situations where you're dealing with this incredibly faired victor, and you're still kind of coming on top of it. So, I think maybe after a couple adaptations, we should be able to see ESP perform a lot better. And in that regard, what sort of adaptations do you be expecting to see?
Well, they are going to go into another game, into another team. So I'm not too sure about. We don't know exactly what the other team is. I don't think there was actually anything wrong, like a lot of things wrong with ESP's macro here. I think like the tiny mistakes they did make, and I think just maybe the Victor did play just better in lane. So he just was able to get that. He was just able to get ahead of the Corki, and the game could have gone the other way if Corki was the one that was ahead. You would be the one that was the problem, the same way Victor was. So yeah, for next game,
Yeah, of course. But it was not Zeri though that time. Seemed like kind of just invisible for most of the game, not able to really contribute in later team fights.
Yeah, that is one of my opinions as well. Seri just like, okay, it's the champ, but why would you not pick Jinx? Why would you not pick Jin? I mean, okay, Jin was banned, wasn't he? But yeah, Jinx was banned as well. Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Maybe try and look at the bot side a little bit more. Maybe look at some other things there. Of course, if Renekton does look like it would be open, it seems that Elijah would prefer maybe to be on some of these champions that might be able to make more of an impact, because honestly, the performance that game was incredible.
Yeah, he played really well those casks. At one point, was definitely one of the things that extended the game as long as it did with and turning those team fights with the way it were. But yeah, we should be going into the next lobby quite soon. Not too sure. Should be getting an invite in a second. Filled up the water bottle, ready for another game.
Always remember to hydrate.
Remember to hydrate.
Alright. ESP, of course, versus PMG.
Yep, we do have. Alright, we are into a pro draft.
See a Caitlyn hover on the ban first. Caitlyn, of course, having been nerfed slightly on this patch, if I remember correctly, but still a very prominent pick in the bot lane for being able to put out a lot of pressure.
Bard again being banned here, they're really respecting it.
Yeah, we got a very, very juicy Bard on the side of ESP, of course, so give respect where it's due. You know what? I'm happy with that. I don't have to see the Xin anymore. No Xin. I'm happy.
All right.
I'm tired of seeing it.
Quick ban. Oh,
actually, please, just no. An actually exciting mid lane matchup would be really, really appreciated. No Corki. We don't like the Corki here. Look. I mean, Sana, okay. I'm not too necessarily keen on it. You can still play it fasting. Fasting should be quite strong on this patch. Oh. Well, I'm sorry to say there's a B1 Renekton, but there's a B1 Renekton.
No, everything but, no. Why? Come on. Out of all the things you could have possibly picked. Oh my gosh, why?
As we see Lee Sin for PMG as the first pick. Lee Sin still around, kicking, doing his job, doing his clear. Just generally being an okay jungler with some playmaking tools.
Yeah, I feel like Lee is always just useful, honestly.
Let's
Seri
try
being
that.
picked up.
Zeri again. Yeah, everyone just wants, you know, new champion. New champion must be good, right?
New champ overloaded. Haha, yes.
See if that will be paired. Most likely with an enchanter, I would imagine, of some variety. We obviously, yeah, it's a little bit different last game with how I went out with the Braum. Renekton Nidalee, the dynamic duo.
Ah, yes. Staple of the LCK. Hmm.
I mean, I think we all know where that's going, but any expectations for the way that ESP want to play out the rest of this draft and the game?
I would like to see a hard carry. A Jinx, for example. Astral?
No.
I said hard carry, not Astral, but okay. Personally, playing Astral into Seri is painful.
Yeah, but I imagine hitting your Mystic shot is not particularly easy.
Yeah. It...
You see the Gragas, of course, as we go in second ban phase. Gragas able to store lane a lot against Renekton. And it's pretty annoying to tower dive, I would say. What's interesting about the Yuumi on this, of course, Ezreal Yuumi does have some innate synergy, but if you wanted to pick the Yuumi, you could pick it with Zeri, and it's quite a good combination.
Yep. I mean, I would say though, Gragas against Seri is probably really good because it's such a huge AoE. It's extremely hard to miss.
Yeah, you deny that from the enemy team. As we do see the Victor ban, of course, as well. Good to see that one being eliminated. Don't really want a repeat of last game happening, where you get an extremely fed Victor who just lasers your entire team down.
Yuumi and Seraphine.
And Corki as well. I'm okay with this.
I am.
Wouldn't be any resident sleeper mid laners. I'm okay with that. Well, unless we see an Azir coming through.
Oh no. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't jinx it.
Go on, PNG.
Speaking of Jinx, it could actually be Jinx bot lane. It could be Seri solo lane.
Yes.
That is a thing.
Yeah, definitely some Cameron.
Veigar.
Okay.
Veigar support or mid lane?
I mean, technically, you could swap Zeri mid, you could put Veigar in the ADC position, doing really well, actually, in the bot lane currently, as a pick.
Yeah, there's a lot of funky stuff you can do. Do you actually see the top laner for PMG? Oh, the jungler. Yeah, that's the Veigar game. Okay, so it's jungle Veigar. Please don't. Nautilus being picked up, though. It's really good against Seri.
Going into Zeri, you got a lot of hard engage will help with your Renekton and Lee, maybe your support to roam up to those at some point in the game to make a play.
Yep, it was the same for the last game. The Nautilus did a lot of...
Mm-hmm.
And use was Rice being picked up. Okay.
Okay, interesting. We've got the AP mid jungle here, but the Realm Warp is the main reason you're going to be picking this champion.
For sure, for sure.
So Leona. Okay. I'm not too keen on Leona myself. What are your opinions on that one?
Yeah, no, honestly, I would like to see a Thresh instead of that Leona, but here we are, I guess.
Well, see, we've just got to remake the entire draft because this has been done. Not draft lol, and then we'll go back into the actual draft. Game started up, but now that we have the two teams, we are obviously waiting for where the positions will be. But just on pure champions, how do you think that ESP want to play the game? How do you think that PMG want to play?
You know, Zeri wants to scale. Okay, let's go from top to bottom actually. Renekton wants to scale. Gragas wants to scale. Nidalee can do a little bit early. Lee Sin wants to do early. Because he's a really good early game champion. Rice wants to scale, Veigar wants to scale, Ezreal wants to scale, Zeri wants to scale. Nautilus and Leona just want to roam, but to where are they going to roam? Like...
Yeah, it's a little bit all over the place. But at the end of the day, that is a Renekton Nidalee. So if there's anything that we are expecting to see, it is Nidalee going to the top lane and trying to do something with Renekton.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, like, I honestly think there's not a lot of room for it, but there needs to be some sort of early shenanigans.
Sure.
Because the team that gets the early lead, assuming they play fine, like assuming they don't, you know, grief early or late or mid game, the team that gets the early lead is the one that's going to win.
Yeah, both these teams have some have some champions that really benefit from this.
Yeah.
You can only need to accelerate your scaling. So for champions such as the Veigar, such as Zeri, such as the Ezreal, or even the Rise, you want the gold early. Renekton, of course, benefits massively from it because that's his entire shtick. Hopefully, seeing a lot of early pressure and some skirmishes, exciting skirmishes, hopefully at that around the map.
Yeah, I would say team fighting is better for PMG though, because instead you have Lee Sin who's better, I guess. Lee Sin is a better team fight champion. Period. And yeah, being able to get a pick, Leona as well. I think I would say Leona has larger range than Nautilus.
Yes, I think the solar flare on her R, it does have a longer range if you want to just click that button and see if you can connect that with somebody than Nautilus's depth charge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Leona's E, of course, has shorter range than Nautilus's Q, with the massive hitbox that has.
Yep. But yeah, honestly, I think team fights just on the surface will come down to who is going to misstep and let Gragas ult and Leona ult, maybe a Veigar wall even. Like who's going to be hit by the CC first, and then we can see like both the junglers can have a lot of impact on how the outcome of the team fight. You have Lee Sin, who should be able to, you know, if he gets a good flank off, he can very easily turn around the team fight. And you also have Nidalee, if she hits a spear on one of the backline, like it's quite brutal. But the issue is, all the champions on PMG is decently tanky, honestly. Like you saw Zeri last game. Assuming they're going for the Triforce build that has become the stable, and not the crit. You build health with that Black Cleaver, right?
Yeah, there's health itemization inherent with Zeri. Gragas is going to be building it. AP items come with that attached. Leona's, of course, going to be building the tank support items, and Lee Sin itemizes health as well. So, PMG do have an innate sort of extra bulk to their draft than ESP might have. Nidlee's not going to be itemizing that nearly as much. Ezreal's interesting, though. There's a lot of things you can do with Ezreal, but currently he doesn't itemize that much health.
Yeah, no, I mean there is some you can build. I would say you can go, like, depends on which Titanic item you go.
Yeah. Should I sync up to you again then?
You can just watch my Discord stream.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Great, yeah. As we load onto the Rift again, any expectations of level 1? Anything funky? Just gonna be warding out and doing pretty standard clears?
Yeah, honestly, probably. Don't see any reason for anything fancy, really.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, no, unless... Oh, actually, that's interesting. I've just noticed on Skvada with the Ghost and Electrocute.
Interesting.
Okay, Lee Sin getting the kill onto Nilly. I mean, not really going to mean anything. You know, she's upside doesn't mean that she's going to start there. Does just look like both junglers are going to go down, do their buffs, and then rotate through the jungle as per usual.
Yeah, that does mean that Nidalee is not going to have the sweeper, which is probably what Gubber was going for.
Yeah, likely. Yeah, we're starting here, and I'm not exactly too experienced with the Ryze Veigar matchup, but I'd imagine it's pretty even as there's a lot of level 1 trading. But Mysterious is tanking up the minions here, so...
Not too sure about that one, buddy. But yeah, like... I would think it's Ryze favored, honestly, because of the superior wave clear and the fact that you can then have a lot more map influence.
Yeah, you can shove the wave into Ryze with your... It's just really stupid seeing Ryze wave clear sometimes. You see these really big numbers just pop on the screen and you get really annoyed at it. It sounds fine, but at the same time it's just ridiculous. But you see the wave, and push the wave in, go mid, go top, press your R button.
Yeah. So both junglers actually, Nidalee, Gubber opting for the full clear, and full clear actually, while Lee Sin has opted to do red blue Grom. I'm not too sure as to reason why. Because there's actually no benefit. Because Lee Sin is a fast enough clearer. But probably, like, we saw this last game as well from K5.
Yeah, this is interesting. So we have Weeze coming down here into the bot side. Leona going in with the blade, but I don't think you have enough damage. M4 with the ignite, ticking down, but the tower shot onto Slippery. Last tick of ignite, and that will be first blood for ESP.
Why? So we saw this last game. I criticized K5 for it last game as well. Why is the jungler pathing to the lane that is pushed?
Oh, there's a really nice hook there from Dempsey, and you might be able to pick on the kill onto Vega. Will flash out of that one, but you're burning the suns. Now, the only sun that is available on enemy team on bot lane is Flash. Of course, you have none left, but you did get the first blood up.
Yeah. I don't know. The engage there from Slippery was either too early or just not necessary at all. And here is the Nidalee.
That's the Renekton Nidalee going to be burning Flash from Gragas there. Really good to get that for the next play in the top side.
Yep. But yeah, as I was trying to say, like, the bot lane engage was way too early. Lee Sin was not in a position. The wave was not in a position. There was no reason to go for that play.
Yeah, a little bit like, you know, I get it. Lee Sin, you're Lee Sin. You're a playmaking jungler. You want to make plays, but sometimes you have to recognize that and maybe not go for it and do your clear.
Yeah. So, by the looks of things, we're going to see the Seri going for,
That was very close on that one.
a little bit more lollipopping. That would have been it.
Yeah. Ocean Gate has now spawned, of course. Nidalee is on the bot side as well as Lee Sin, so it's probably going to be looking for a play in the bot lane here. Both junglers available to match. Ree's going on. Dempsey going on the hook on the Slippery. Not sure if Leona is the one you want to target. Nautilus taking a lot of damage, but I think PMG just have to force themselves out of this one.
Yeah. And, yep, that was not. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, going back in. A lot of damage to Vega, but I don't think you can pick up the kill. Dempsey taking a lot in return. Just going to be traded on both sides.
Yep, that is okay, really. I think ESP should be quite happy with the current game state. Just get the word, maybe. I did get the word. Yeah, they should in general be happy. Top lane is currently a little bit ahead. Do have the flash advantage, do have TP advantage, TP not that important anymore really. But wait a minute, things can turn in the mid lane.
There we go, Reese here in the mid lane right here, Mysterious running for his life. Q and the ult, really nice play from PMG there to get something else back on the map.
Yeah, and I think honestly Mysterious just, you see the Lee Sin, you're trapped in the cage, immediately flash. Immediately flash out of the cage and just run. Because you just want to get out of there. He was sticking around for too long, and that allowed Lee Sin to get a much better setup than he otherwise would have had.
So pay the respect to the cage. Sometimes you just got to get yourself out of there. Really nice cask. Will only take one tower shot, but that is ult down now. Elijah still has enough health. Nidalee isn't in a position to be able to look topside, but Meatball does have to play safe.
Yeah, and we can see Slippery here is moving up. He should be spotted on Tribush here. Pinion is coming out, and he just wants to clear the wave and get out of there.
Get yourself a reset and spend that gold that you have earned. Slight, it's not really actually much an advantage in top lane. I was going to say it's a slight CSD, but with this wave pickup, it's actually virtually non-existent. But the important thing, oh, nice flash burn there in the mid lane. Now Vigar doesn't have that. Important thing to note here is the Rift Herald now having spawned.
Yep. Both junglers topside here, and actually it's already being started. No vision
started
though.
Up by ESP, burned down to about 4k right here. PMG just looking to get, just not care about this one.
Yep. Oh, that's for damage. So yeah, PMG was pathing topside, Boister was already pathing bot side, so did not have the info. Probably had a gut feeling because of the fact that, well, everybody was topside. Not much they can do to really contest it. So yeah, again, ESP really happy with the game state.
Yeah, should definitely be happy getting that slightly. You have the Drake, you have about 1k gold lead, not much right now, but you have a Rift Herald, you have a Renekton Nidalee, so probably would be looking to balloon that slightly in the top lane. As for the rest of the map, nothing else more coming out. You're just building up your items, building up the lane, and playing the game
out. So, next move for these two teams. ESP should really be looking. They do have the Nidalee. They do have a lot of setup in all of them, and they there is a lack of exploiting the fact that there is no flash, because now flash is up on both of these guys. But oh my god!
Yeah, not so much damage on the Zeri here. Gets immediately killed there. Goober going on to Slippery. Hook should be up in a moment or two, but just going to be flashing out that one to stay alive. Really nice play on the boss side. Elijah trading into Meatball top lane. Will there be a solo kill? Not sure about that one, but Slippery still being chased down. One more auto from Mysterious. Should be able to do it.
Point and click.
Okay, that would be the kill for Rise.
Right, that is well done, and as we still getting those ganks up, even though Flash is still up and burning some. They're actually still having both their sums up, so. But Mysterious is going to be caught out here. He is surely dead now. Nidalee is actually white. Oh,
with the phase rush and the Herald's going to be dropping boss side, try and cash in those plague things. We'll get out here. Goober now coming through, seeing if he can make a play in it as well. Okay.
Honestly, I think PMG should have gotten that kill there. Flash, like, okay, it might be a little bit aggressive. I don't think they had any vision on Nidalee, so that's probably why. But flash kick and then full Veigar combo. You have electrocute, so your burst damage is absolutely insane. You know he does not flash, so just go for it.
Yeah, definitely the potential there to be able to make a play. And in terms of plays, we do see Breeze poking his head around the corner, but good recognition from Elijah backing out of that one.
Yep. And Drake will be spawning in 30 seconds here, so I think this is a little bit too late of a reset for Gubber here. He does not actually manage to finish his item either. So yeah, both of these teams will be a little bit late to the Drake setup, but it's fine since both of them is. I guess it's just a Cloud Drake. Nobody actually cares about it, anyways.
No, it is Cloud. Still irrelevant as always. But you know what? It's not gonna be Cloud Soul. I'm okay with that.
Yep. No, it's
Soul's actually gonna be impactful, hopefully.
Hey.
I mean, there's no Chemtech anymore, so at least there's that.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, it's just props to Riot on like biting the bullet there on your decisions and actually recognizing that soul was not very healthy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit torn about it, because at the same time, like, oh yeah, here we remove our revive mechanic and then we give it back in the champion. It's like, why?
Yeah, it's coming through with a revive mechanic shortly. That will be securing up that Drake there. Not much the PMG could do, already have the setup on this side, but this means ESP is now going to about a 2,000 and a bit gold lead. Not a huge amount, but still relevant for the team, and that is going to be a Mountain Rift coming alive.
Yeah, and bringing up the gold graph here. Oh, wait a minute here though, as a play is happening in the bot side.
Be able to buffer the E out of that one. Really nice depth charge, knocking up 3 there. Maybe Goober can get the return. Huge damage with that spear right there. Slippery might be able to go down too, but I think there's a little bit too much damage from Veigar to be able to do this. Running up on this one, keeping those Zeri stacks up, but still, really nice read from Goober and to make a response to that.
Yeah, and I was about to say that looks doomed because that S-roll just missed everything, but that Nidalee spear was so on point that was able to turn the entire fight around, and Breeze just immediately got popped there. Very well done. And yeah, we actually did see Squadder, I think that's how we would pronounce it, Didn't move down, so Rice did get a little bit off in the mid lane here, but there is a party going on in the top side. Elijah here is striving.
Elijah here looking for a kill, but also... Okay, well, it's just a night pop to go onto the Rise. Does get the flash onto Mysterious, so maybe next time we get the engage onto him, trap in a cage, he will not have that escape tool.
Yeah, he did channel his rift. His ultimate is... what is it called again? Bramwar. To try to get out, but he had to burn his flash in the end when he saw that everybody was there. So, bounty is up for... I don't think we actually had that last game, did we? Maybe we did. Bounty is up for PMG here. And it is a Mountain Soul, spawning in 3 minutes, so that's quite nice. I would say that is quite good for ESP, because it's not Ocean. And because if it was Ocean and they were to slip up and give some Ocean Drakes over to PMG, then a lot of their poke would be mitigated and would not be as useful.
Yeah, and it's also great for ESP as well to be securing those Drakes, buff up the resistances, make you a little bit harder to kill as you don't itemize quite as tanky as the enemy team. Of course, now you're looking at around about a 5,000 gold lead for ESP, which is really nice for their sort of composition. Both teams really want to get ahead early on because they can try and push that lead further. Itemization looks pretty standard on the whole, though.
Yeah. Do see the same build we saw last game from Gragas. Chemtech. Oh, hold on here though. Nice CC setup, but
a lot of damage as well. We'll get CC in mid lane. I think Splatter just gets this kill. Lives on a sliver, kills the Auto really close there. I was thinking Vigon might actually die there. Not quite enough. Slippery on a little bit of health. Q Auto.
Oh,
And the last one, the unfortunate flash there.
Just a second too late. And actually, if Dempsey actually hit that another stick, it would have been another kill for sure. And yeah, M4 actually, I would say, greeting a little bit with exhaust, because I'm pretty sure Kid exhausted at a lot of points in that fight against Squad with the Veigar.
Yeah, definitely. Popping that sum there would have ensured that you would have been okay, I think, with how close the fight was in the end. But now a significant lead ESP has, so what do you think PMG need to do right here with their composition? Because it looks like you have a relatively strong Veigar, you have some playmaking tools in Gragas and Lee Sin. How are you going to put these pieces together to make a comeback potentially?
Right now, Slippery is doing a little bit of a mistake. He's putting a lot of resources and time into clearing topside, but why are you clearing topside? Vision. Rift is down. Okay, Baron is up in 3 minutes. Fine. But Drake is up in 30, 40, 50. It was probably 50 around when he started doing it. So why are you not putting the time, those resources into bot side? And now that is paying off because ESP is here and doing that job. And they get a free kill.
Exactly that. I mean, on point with the analysis there, because it just comes into fruition. Gragas with the cast with the Mysterious should be able to pick up that kill immediately, but how much are you going to trade in return? Bree's getting really low, will get the death charge, but live. Uber having to go golden to stay alive, will live with the W there on a very small amount of health, but Veigar will pick up the kill here. Going forward, the immense amount of move speed that Zeri has, can he get anything more? Looking onto M4, and that will be another kill, and that should also be the Drake for PMG. Don't think they'll be looking for Uber though.
And that fight really turned out for the worse here. Looked really good getting a lot of burning a lot of resources on Leono there. And
Elijah coming in here a little bit on his own, just gonna slice and dice out that one. Mysterious. Maybe ESP looking for something. I'm not sure if it's what you want to do, as they will back up.
Yeah, and that's the Zeri ESP wanted to be last game. Goober here extended. I'm not sure you should be doing this one, buddy. If Slipper... Oh no, Goober.
Oh, okay, well you do have a lot of damage. Let's see if you can get yourself out of this one. Solar Flare going down, Ignite, Flash away. Slippery going forward, but I guess you don't have the vision either, and you don't want to overextend.
Yeah. Not too sure they're wasting your flash for absolutely nothing there. However, mid lane.
Great engage, but you just got cast back into tower, and I think there's a little bit too much damage as this Nautilus will die to the enemy AD carry. Mysterious now coming through with a few Qs, but not able to pick up anything in return there.
Red team's turret has been
Yeah, bot lane here we do see Rift spawned, and we do have the hole in the world.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So yeah, not getting the shot.
Oh, actually, for a second there, I thought I got off a second charge.
So I actually want to point out, in that fight with the Drake, Sari was actually at 590 movement speed.
What?
So yeah, she be fast.
Yeah, I feel like there's a whole champion identity now. You just pop your R and you zoom around everywhere. Skating.
So I think the mistake that happened as to why ESP did not win that team fight is because they put a lot of they got a pick on Leona, which I think is good, but I think they tunnel vision way too hard on it. They did not look around themselves and be like, okay, wait, Vega is there, Lee Sin is there, Gragas is there, everybody else is there, right? So that's probably why it turned out, and I also think that Vega on Zeri got a pretty decent Zeri ult, as the way it works is the more people you hit, the better it gets. The more you do. So yeah.
You hit one and you get 6% move speed, so it's quite a decent chunk if you can get that off. It gives you a nice little burst. Of course, you can continue stacking it with your autos, so it's not a big deal. Sometimes you don't actually care too much if you do hit, just so you can get the buff. As we do see a fight breaking out, Mysterious just getting popped almost right here, gonna live on a slither. Dempsey with the flash out. Now we got both teams on these sides of the lanes, but I think they're not looking for anything in particular. There will be the True Shot Barrage being fired out, but no kill for either team.
Yeah, no, it should be at least a turret though, if M4...
That was a very close one. A bit brave there to go for the play forward, but there is the first tower destroyed, of course, and now you open up the mid lane.
Yeah. Now, Sari here actually is on 2 items. Does have the Triforce and Hurricane. I assume Hurricane works the same as normal with this Q? I actually don't know. It will be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, it applies all effects. I can't remember the exact interaction, but it is generally what is built second.
Yeah.
It's just quite odd to see the itemization from M4 last game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is built. I've seen it plenty of times, but I guess that's more for solo lane instead of ADC. Now, Ezreal is going to have a pretty huge power spike soon, just a couple more minions, or spells, but guess that was an ultimate. His mana meter should be online any second now. Does do the correct thing, building AP, Mythic. This game, he should actually be going Ludens instead of Crown. Crown is quite a popular item on Ezreal right now. It does synergize quite well, and he is he would like it. But the thing is, Crown, you're never actually going to be using Crown passive. You're wasting the passive gold here.
Yeah, the move speed and AP isn't necessarily quite as valuable in this situation.
Yeah, because Crown will be popped by you throwing your Qs and hitting a Thornmail. And most likely there's going to be 2 Thornmail users on the enemy team. Gragas, potentially Sin, and definitely Leona.
But with the Mountain Drake here, we see both teams lining up. Solarflare connecting onto Ezreal, but a really nice buffer from M4 to prevent that massive True Shot Barrage as well, forcing Sparta to flash back. Slippery will live because of the cask, but I don't think he's going to live for long, as Prince Eliga does pick up that kill. Now, EMG, ESP on the offensive, but I think they're going to back off and claim the Drake for themselves.
Yeah, now Furry's actually still here mid. Getting a lot of these minions here, so that is fine. They could actually... Are they looking? No, they're going for the reset here. That's good, that's good. So yeah, a real decent fight from ESP. PMG definitely walking up, and that Astral I think was 4 or 5 man. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
it was
hit a lot of people.
It was definitely a 3 man, 4 man, possibly 5 man. Doubt it, but it's huge, and it does so much damage because of the fact that you have the Lost Chapter. The AP scaling on Astral is insane.
Yeah. Really good values.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90%.
90%. So, I mean, Crown doesn't actually give that much extra AP, so we'll just base it off of this. He dealt 753 damage to almost everyone. It does get reduced damage the more it hits, yada yada.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can see this just like...
Just fire out on cooldown, interrupt some things,
yeah,
you know.
that was... A Breeze there took the least amount of damage possible. You're not going to take any less damage because of the way it works. It, like, the more you hit, the less damage it does. And it will just get stronger. And yeah, we actually... My saying that I was going Crown is a mistake is... Oh,
I mean, you're relatively ahead as the... I mean, you have a flame horizon over the enemy jungler.
Oh, yeah.
So, honestly, I mean, the big thing is ESP is just absolutely dominating this game right now. You have a 7,000 odd gold lead. You have really ahead champions in general. Of course, you did lose that one Mountain Drake, but you are still on 3 Drakes from Soul Point. Very much in control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you bring up the graph here, it's just an upwards hill. It does not actually ever go down, pretty much. Guess we can bring up the gold tab as well for individual players here, and yeah, Astral and Italy quite ahead. They're doing happy, and XP as well. It's a thing I can bring up just to show, and we want to hear a little bit kind of XP. But both of these supports is just fine with being behind in levels. Just funnel as much as possible into their carries. They're just easy bots anyways.
Yeah, it's just support life nowadays, honestly. You dump your spells, you CC someone, and then you probably die. Yeah. Yeah, it's just heart goes out to all the support mains out there. Unfortunate that that is your game plan.
Unless you're Enchanter.
Oh yeah, true. A little bit different with Enchanters.
Yeah.
Then you actually have to actively stay alive.
Yeah. I'm actually, one thing we didn't talk about earlier was I'm actually like surprised that Dempsey actually didn't go glacial. But I guess he is 1 out of 2 frontline, so I guess he just wants to stay alive instead of just actually doing CC.
Yeah, the Aftershock gives you that extra longevity, and you know, you get the Even Shroud. That does give you the damage amp on your CC anyway, so acts as a little bit more of a tanky boy in front of the Nidalee, the Rise, and the Ezreal.
Yeah. So we do see actually Tiamat as well, the second item. I guess that's pretty normal for this area, as more AoE equals better, because you're literally just going to be zooming around doing damage.
Yes, apply those on hits on your autos as you skate around with your ult. I think the main thing is PMG really have to play around this area. But Baron spawning. What else do PMG need to do?
I don't know. They again, like right now it's a bit of a tough position. We do see Titanic being completed for Zeri. You have to choose. Like, I would say the correct choice for PMG is just take vision, take as much as control for your Drake here, but a fight is happening in the mid lane, and I'm
going forward. Cost goes wide, and it's just dead. Not sure about that one. Dempsey now with the engage on the side. Renekton coming in, but they might be a little bit deep. Will be able to tank up most of things. Strider going golden. A lot of damage coming in from middle on the side, and it looks like the ESP are just going to run them down with their bank cards. And unless Zeri can do Zeri things, I think you just lose.
Yeah, I'm just quickly like bringing up the stats page there. 594 movement speed, almost 600 here consistently does. Oh, okay.
Oh, I mean, it's very being a nuisance as ever, but I feel like you just forget about the Zeri and get on with your game a little bit. I mean, good if he wants it, and you will get the kill with the flash. Not the flash, even the blast over the world. You might be able to you get mid-turret here, you get the Drake. You can probably then move to Baron, you have an advantage on that one. I just end up being curtains for PMG shortly.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake from Meatball, honestly. I'm not too sure as to the reason he engaged when he did. I guess he did see an opportunity for the flashy on Astral, but you gotta think as well that Astral M4 did not hit, or did not actually. Oh my gosh, that's so much damage. You gotta remember, or you gotta realize, M4 dodged everything. I don't think his crown ever got procced in that. So, yeah, like, even if Gragas or Meatball hit the CC, Astral would just be fine. He still has flash. He had his E that he used to dodge the CC quite well. And why don't you, like, you are Veigar, you are Gragas, you're Zeri, all of these champions want to fight in close quarters. So why do you fight in mid lane?
That's a good question to ask. You need to play to your team's benefits, as we do see Dempsey going on straight onto the Veigar, knocking him up for a really long time. That is going to be the Renekton just in the backline taking up all the damage, and that's Rise down. Really good from PMG to get that kill, but I think you just get words that Veigar trying his damnedest on the Zeri, pumping out a lot of damage here of all the on hits that you're building. And unless we can get, I mean, there's a lot of damage, I think that might be enough, but she's just too damn fast. Let's see if Zeri can do something here with this. Gonna have to be playing right on the edge of these ranges to be able to make anything happen.
Oh, nope, don't walk into melee range.
I think that's gonna be it. That would be the ace for ESP, and that should be the game as well. Going for the Baron first to secure it, but I think you could have just ended down mid.
Yeah. I mean, they have an open inhibitor, but I guess they, No, nobody's actually alive here.
I mean, it's two. I mean, yeah, you can play it safe this way. You can just secure the Baron and just push your waves afterwards, but game just ended.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And yeah, I look outside my window, and snow is going sideways, and I look on my screen, and the game is going sideways. Yeah, PMG right now is in a quite rough position. They lost the Drake, they lost the Baron, they lost the team fight. Elder's up in 330.
That's the last hope, honestly. You wait, you try and start the game for 3 minutes, and then maybe you get an Elder.
Yeah, you gotta go, like your hope,
that's it.
Your hope right now is coin flipping it. Like, if we bring up the gold tab and the gold graph, the amount of gold diff is so huge right now. Impressively, Rise is actually quite far behind in gold here compared to the rest of the game.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
But still, like, your jungler, right? Your jungler, Lee Sin here, he has less gold than the enemy support. And there's a severe lack of usage of the early game pressure Lee Sin brings.
I mean,
where did
that's a 7-0 middling. Okay, there's an amazing engage there on the cross. Maybe getting a Renekton might be the way back into the kick into the tower, but the cold drinker and the cold and he heals him back up. Will get taken down, but I think the Israel down too. Is this what PMG needed to get back into the game? Only 3 members of ESP alive. They do have the Baron, Mysterious in the bot lane, trying to split attention.
Yeah, no, and a huge mistake from M4 there, eing forward aggressively with the Arcane Shift. Absolutely zero reason for him to do that, and almost single-handedly lost a team fight there, I think, by eing forwards. Prince Elijah is actually quite fine there going forwards with the Renekton. It was Lee Sin kickback as well, but that is fine. You saw he survived for a really, really long time. But M4, you can't do the same.
Yeah, you gotta be a little bit more careful as a squishy little Ezreal.
Yeah, and he immediately got blown up. And Squatter, did he even ult that fight? He must have ulted. There's no way the... Wait, what's the actual...
It's got a pretty short cooldown anyway.
Yeah, but it's not that short, right? 42 seconds. Okay, yeah, so it did ult that
42,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How many stacks is... We haven't actually done a stat
No,
check
it's a
here.
good question. Let's see,
Yeah,
318.
318 stacks, yeah, with 933 AP. It does have the Rabadons as well, it brings on to the table
I'm
to
not sure that's what we want to be, Slippery. The Eclipse is going to keep you alive for the time being, but if ESP had any more vision on that one, I think you're just dead.
Yeah, I would say except for maybe a different Mythic, going with the Ludens on Astral. I completely fine with the build as an OTP. Like, Frozen Heart is generally really good on Astral in these situations here. How much CDR does he have? He does have a total of 115, which is equal to 53% CDR. So his Q is going to be on a quite short cooldown on 2.9 seconds, reduced by 1.5.
Firing that one out. 20 seconds on the Elder. PMG need the setup around this. They need everything they can possibly get. Because the Elder is their hope. Their Elder is their hope of winning the game. The sole hope. Because you have to fight for this. If ESP get Elder, they just run it down and they will kill you.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Slipper is doing there. Like, yeah, he has to reset because of the wards, but Elder's given up.
I mean, it's just dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone. Wait, PMG?
What? What the you believe? And yeah, they're just gonna march down mid lane now. PMG is just gonna lose the fight, and
You can just 5-man mid.
yeah.
You can literally 5-man mid here with Elder, with your gold lead, with your advantage.
I expect a Realm Warp quite soon here.
I mean, if you play it slow and safe, you can get the top in here, get waves crashing in, but I mean, I feel like you can just roll straight into PMG and you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see. I want to see a max range spear just hit on anything here. I just want to see the damage.
Oh yeah.
Because I have a feeling if it does hit squishy targets, Seri or Vigor actually doesn't Banshee, so it's safe for a little bit. Is it one shot with Elder? Maybe.
I mean, there's potential. There really is potential at this point in the game. Triple Barrage not going to count one out of anyone. PMG's putting on a really great defense right now, but you're going to have supers coming in, you're going to have freeways, you're dealing with Elder, and you're dealing with a Mountain Soul. It's just a little bit too much.
Yeah, and I think one big mistake here is actually, it's quite minor, but if ESP was able to sync up the waves now, because we have two waves synced up here, but there is a lot of wave clear on PMG's side with that Vigor W. Oh, I see from import. Emotes, BM as well. Actually, what is... I think Vigor might be on 1,000 stacks here. He does, and the W is on 3.2 seconds.
Yeah, he's got a lot of AP, but isn't. Gets the engage, immediately dies. They do manage to pick up a jungler on a turn, but maybe Elder's too much. 2 kills for PMG, looking promising. There's only 2 kills on the enemy side, so you actually have numbers up. Your health bars are low, though. You have one more turret. ESP need to end the game now, and they're trying to do so. Alright, Splurver coming back in, lands the cage. I think that might be another kill. No, well, Lee Sin's gonna go down, and you can probably just hit the Nexus here. It should just be an easy win for ESP, looking really dominant in this game. Okay, I mean, you get the kill. It's just pretty neat.
Yeah, no, you gotta pad his stats at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, come on, dudes. Just end the game. Just end the game. Come on. And yeah, GG.
There it is.
Well played to PMG. And ESP really... We can bring up the goal graph once last time before we end the game, as we're not going to see it in the post lobby. Nope, that is broken as well. Yeah.
The Umrats won the game.
No, that was Gerber playing exceptionally well. I believe he actually ended the game on 25 stacks and then died, but yeah, no, that those damage, 40k damage. Oh my gosh, that's real damage.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
I mean, when you hit multi-man true shot barrages like that, all you
That's
need
good
to
stuff.
get those damage stats padded up.
And yeah, from honestly, like PMG did quite a big mistake. Like this Lee Sin was never put into play.
That is some. That's very sad Lee Sin noises.
Yeah.
Very sad Lee Sin noises.
And like, if we look at the damage, or the gold rather, he was 1.3k gold behind a Nautilus support. That should never happen.
Yeah, I think when we look back on it, seems like Rex just decided, well, you know, I think it really came from that level 3 play and them not really being able to keep up ever since versus Goober's pressure.
Yeah.
Kind of just fell behind after that. You made another one in mid, but it wasn't successful because Rise managed to flash out and get out of that one with the phase rush, which is really unfortunate. It would have been nice to see more priority over enabling Lee Sin, enabling lanes, and really trying to go for those.
And yeah, like it would have been so much better with a lot of other ADCs again. Like you would have been able to play for your bot lane so much more if you had a proper hyper carry. Like yeah, sure, Sarah is a hyper carry, but it's not reliable damage. Jinx is reliable damage. Ezreal is not necessarily reliable damage in the same way as Seri isn't because of the skill shots you have missing. You can miss your skill shot, you can miss your damage. Jinx is one of those Jinx is one of those AD carries that you can play a lot more for when you are Lee Sin, because you can so much more. It's just better. It's just better. Maybe Aphelios as well. What other champions can you have?
I mean, the one issue if you pick Aphelios in this situation is you don't quite have as much range as the Jinx or the Ezreal, which doesn't
for sure
necessarily synergize as well with the rest of your team identity. Seems going to be a little bit out of place, but if you rotate enough weapons through to caliber them and you could play around Moonlight Vigil, you could still do something.
Oh yeah.
Alright, well, that's game 2 down, so currently looking at 1-1 record. Not sure how many teams have left to play in this one right here. I'll need to go back to the page on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it there.
Let's see. Should just be this one right here. I hope. Yeah, so it looks like, as far as I can tell, there's still 2 games going on.
Yeah. I would believe so as well, if my readings are correct. Actually, no, there's only 1 game.
There's a 1, so one's finished then.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully not too long until the next one comes through. But yeah, that was a really great showing. Much better than the first game. Really good control throughout the game. Honestly, Goober coming up really strong in that one.
Yep. Okay, yeah, we love to hate on Renekton, but it's like reliable setup for the Nidalee and enabling the Nidalee there. As we said, or as I said in the game, not abusing the flash advantage you have that much on the Nidalee is a little bit of a mistake, so stop. Enabling, well, you could probably get a little bit, yeah, it could have been a little bit better, but it's fine. Still play the game pretty well.
Yeah.
And 4 play to clean Ezreal as well, so yeah.
At the end of the day, the win's a win. It's
Win's a
pretty
win.
decent one, and you need all these you can get. So I don't know what the exact win rate you need to be able to qualify for third division, because this is what we're aiming for. But I mean, a positive record is part of that, and wins are going to be able to help you get a positive record for it. So 1-1. I can see if any more wins can be secured down the line. And you know what? I would like to see more Victor Corky bans coming through. That would be good.
Yep.
I'm happy with that. Good draft. I mean, ignoring the B1 Renekton, but outside of that.
Again,
yeah, there it is. Okay, so red side this time.
ooh,
BSB and Visu Ice.
changing it up.
Blue. It's a little bit different here. But if anything, the counter pick is a really nice thing to have in draft a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But technically, this means that, at least on the side of ESP, there can't be a B1 Renekton.
Yay!
Oh well. Think we're gonna get any off-meta stuff? Anything out of the ordinary? Something
It would
spicy
be fun.
you don't
It
really
would be fun.
see.
Would be fun.
What have I not seen in a long time? I mean, there's certain things I never really see. You know, never really see something like a Warwick. Don't think I'm going to see it, but
Warwick. Yeah, I honestly no. You know what? Yeah, Yorick has a weird place in League. And Warwick as well, I guess.
those two. What else? What else is there? Twitch, more of a solo queue champ. Technically Rek'Sai has been played competitively this season, but really in a bad spot as a champion. Bard again!
It's the Bard band. They're respecting a lot here.
Dev's just never gonna get it. I mean, of course Bard can enable a lot of things, but big respect.
Xin Shao overbound. I like it. I like it. Quinn as well. Yeah, no, that's fine.
As well.
Yes.
Yeah, see this Jinx, however, really respecting enemy AD, has played 80 something odd games of Jinx this season, which is, I mean, that's a lot of Jinx. And Renekton is gone as well. No Croc. No Croc. Alright, coming for the Camille, and that will be a B1 Victor. Victor coming back here. See if this time Mr. Machine Man is going to be more or less of a problem for ESP. Of course, Victor right now being one of the best, if not the best, control mages out there at the moment. As we have a Jhin hover. Coming through Jhin, as mentioned earlier, able to facilitate a lot of these compositions where you're trying to look for the top side more, as we had Nidalee Renekton last game, for example. If we're looking to see if we have that same sort of playstyle, then Jhin will fit onto those teams incredibly well. Also, just a very consistent AD carry at the moment in the meta.
Yep. A lot of people don't think him that way, but he has a lot of engage actually with this ultimate. And by engage I mean like you can just ult from really far away. Nobody can actually get on you.
Oh boy.
Ah!
Here we go again.
Yep. And with that Jhin ultimate, you can actually slow and deal damage at the same time. So, and then set up for your team CC. So yeah.
Right. So the big question, at least for me, is how is Mysterious gonna come into this game this time on the Corki, the Victor matchup? We saw it play out in game 1, and whilst Mysterious did well, the matchup didn't go that well.
No, I think one of the issues they had was they didn't funnel a lot of resources into Corki, because we talked about it earlier in the stream about how Victor and Corki can go either way. It just depends on who gets the lead first and who keeps the lead, of course. So that's about it, really. Just gotta keep having it, keep having the lead, do something with the lead, and you know, yeah, that's about it, really. There's not too much to it. Just play better.
Generally quite an even matchup, of course. Victor favoured in the early stages of the lane phase, but Corki can do Corki things. J4 and Ash are the other two champs on the other side, and Espen have gone for the Nautilus again. Looked great with the depth charge last time. Just a very nice, very potent engage tool to use alongside Jhin and the Corki. Ash is not a champion I've seen that much, but Enchanted Crystal Arrow is a really nice tool for making players with.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't think Ash is particularly the best champion you should go in this scenario. Like, I think there's a lot of other things you could go. But I want to check the statistics. I'm also a little bit uncertain about the Nautilus being picked, because you know, a part of your kit is interacting with terrain, and Jarvan crits terrain. So yeah, Aatrox being banned here, okay.
Yes, this is something that, of course, Prince has played quite prolifically over the last few years, so more respect given to these pocket picks of Esp.
Yep. So looks like we're going to fall back to Italy here, okay. I was about to say there's some room for Renekton, but thankfully he's banned. So Ash actually has a 48% win rate against Jhin here. Now that is of course purely statistics and can be affected by a lot of things. So I'm not too sure about this Nidalee. Like, yeah, sure, it worked great last game, but the reason it worked great last game is because there was a lot of setup for the Nidalee. We do have the Leona and Gank plan coming in here. Okay, okay.
GP is just very, very safe in lane and able to leverage a lot of advantages, but you have the counter pick. So you have an entire ocean of champions to pick from, and you can leverage that with the Nidalee.
Yep, as long as it's not a champion puddle, but
yeah.
Mundo.
That is not what I expected to see.
What?
When I think Nidalee, I don't think Nidalee Mundo. That's not something that really comes to mind. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I am, Mundo. What is the thought process behind Mundo?
I mean, the CC doesn't matter as much into Leona. If you get hit by Ashel, it's a very heavy front line. But then, why have we got Nidalee here?
Yeah. It seems like a pretty... It's a pretty bad draft. from ESP here. And I'm not gonna say it's a better draft for the enemy team, but it's more cohesive. That is, like, you have the J4, you have the Victor, two champions that work quite great together, because the J4 ults and you put down the
Gravity Well and the Chaos Storm.
yeah, and essentially guaranteed. So yeah,
you get stun, you get the combo off. I mean, we're going to be looking at this a lot. There's a lot of AoD damage potential in general with GP barrels as well. Be interesting to see exactly how this GP itemizes in that regard. I mean, the Mundo has inherent value into Visu's team. It's just it's the issue with the Nidalee. But at the same time, Jin Northless is a really potent lane in the bot side and should be able to get kill pressure if Visu makes some blunders.
yeah. I don't know. It's a lot of different things or other things you could have picked top lane here into Gangplank. Like, I don't know. Like, what exactly would be better? Gwen is banned. Gwen is banned. Can't be connected.
Yeah, Aatrox is gone as well if you wanted to go for that type of
Yeah.
thing.
Maybe
honestly,
Shen?
Shen cannot play into Renekton, which is the issue. Not Renekton, Gangplank, which is the issue. It's perhaps Shen's worst matchup in the entire game. So
Okay.
picking Shen in this situation basically means you're perma-pushed on the tower, and your Nidalee also doesn't do anything. Of course, Shen does do pretty well with the rest of your team, but that lane is a disaster for Shen.
Ornn or Trundle?
Or yeah, I mean, I think both of those are pretty good. What else
Maybe
is
even a
sort of
Sion.
just
Like,
yeah.
but yeah. So
See a volley bearer as well if you really wanted to play for the Nidalee.
yeah, that's a fair point. Yep, it brings a
Depends
lot of
what
dive to
direction you
the
wanna
team.
go.
But
On the whole, though, I wouldn't say either team really has a draft advantage. This has both been. I think we can both agree on there's a few blunders here and there in a draft, but
interesting
when
choices.
yeah, it's definitely that. And well, I think it's going to be a lot on the jungle again. A lot on this jungle matchup because it looks like we're just going to have very stable lanes mid-top and bot. I mean, I can see some skirmishes bot, but
Oh yeah, for
only
sure.
yeah, that's about it for that. Play around objectives. It'll be interesting to see how this J4 Nidalee interaction comes out because both these junglers want to gank. They both want to put on that pressure, and could be seeing some cheeses here and there.
Yep. Ash pick kick W. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely with that. I mean, yeah, Ash is a weird one. I don't know how to feel about Ash at the moment. I do enjoy playing some Ash myself, but I have not played many games of Ash this season. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel as good. Stick to the Aphelios and the Jhin. At least in my solo queue games.
Yeah. Reliable solo queue champions, but definitely different in the team setting. So yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have a similar situation as the other two games where we have the supports probably going to be roaming around, and you know, both of these champions both of the ADCs, Jhin and Ashe, is quite similar in the way that one click of a button, while somebody else is around, of course, it's a secured fight at least, or at least kill or summoner or something. So that is definitely going to be interesting to see how the supports are going to play. I feel like Dempsey has done a pretty decent job, I would say, of moving around the map, making sure objectives are going down, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that is it. And roaming is going to be the game. There's going to be a lot of this. I mean, the jungle support synergy needs to be there, really. And, I mean, that can be the difference maker in something like the Victor Corki matchup.
Yep, and one thing that is we pointed out at the beginning of the we pointed out earlier in the stream is it's quite a familiar lineup for the ESP. They have played together a couple of seasons, and the only new addition or change really is Gubber, who's the newest player on the team. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't know the exact amount of times, how long this ESP squad have been playing with Gubber, but at the moment, I think the team synergy is there. They looked so great the last game. You just got to remember, not make the same things as first game, as we start loading in again, and I see that we got an airy Victor this time.
Okay.
Both very, very viable runes, First Strike and Airy, of course. Airy more lane dominant, and I think against the Corki matchup, if you really want to pressure Mysterious, the Airy is the one to go. Outside of that, I don't see anything in particular. Anything else you want to discuss as we load on the road?
No, there's not a whole bunch here, honestly. There's nothing. The only interesting thing, I guess, is really the Victor with the area, and maybe not Glacial on any of the supports. Early skirmish here, though.
Level 1 here, and they're going to immediately burn Bopper's Flash. Caught out a little bit, really nice from Gubber to move in.
Yeah. I also was about to say, before that happened, Fleet on Gangplank. I don't know, what rune do you go nowadays on him?
You can go Fleet, you can go Grasp, you can go First Strike.
Okay.
So obviously First Strike is the same idea as Klepto in the past. So you use your cube, you use your parlay, and you make more money off of them. Grasp has been run for such a long time, and Fleet is a sort of similar vein with the sustain.
Yep.
I don't think I really see much else than those three runes. If you're going anything else, it's quite non-standard and probably not very good. So, I mean, I can see if you really want to be that person, you can go something like Harvest, but in a 5v5 environment, I don't think you're going to be getting much value out of that on a GP.
Nah, I don't. I don't see a lot of use.
Alright, so interesting. So Mysterious has also opted for a longsword start with the refillable rather than going corrupting. So a little bit more damage on the auto here in the early. Really nice trade in the top lane onto Popper here. Really good from Elijah. But there is enough sustain on both ends for them. Just, sustain it up. Nothing will really come from that. As for jungle, looks fairly standard as well, just running through your entire clear. But I think we've got to watch out on this J4 for exactly which lane Perkodiff decides to target first.
Yeah, but we have a very important ward here that Ashe actually did. Leona walked up. We have of this one. And that's gonna spot out Italy here. And they are going to know that, hey, Italy is here, and, well, we'll see what they do with that one, that information.
Absolutely. J4 popping down bot side. Both junglers will be here for this. Let's see exactly what happens. Okay, gonna be warded out. Nothing really much coming out of it. Victor is roaming down, but I think you just go back into jungle, do your own thing.
Yeah, Gubber here is going to forfeit the scuttle, as botlane did have more prio and moved up, and they are going to handshake that. It is worth noting Gubber did full clear while Herco skipped the skipped his Krugs as well, so he was not level 4 for that. But 2 champions versus 1 level is it's quite a big difference, so yeah, doesn't want to take that fight, as it's quite unnecessary.
Yeah, no point trying to risk something over that. You don't have the positioning in the bot side to be able to make a play there, but both junglers should be able to reset shortly, do some camps. Just bear in mind that there is an Infernal Drake spawning around 40 seconds.
Yes, What are we looking to do this game? There's not a whole bunch of action going on. I guess we can talk about the Gangplank having that early back
This is a really nice trade onto Elijah here. Mundo does have passive health regen, but there is potential if Elijah is not careful enough.
Yeah, as Buppa does have the Sheen and Corrupting Potion. Did get that early back in, or did have to TP back after. Wait, no, I think he walked to lane after the level 1 shenanigans and then recalled later and then bought the Sheen. So that's gonna give a little bit of oomph in the lane. We do see some of the same action just in the mid lane that both mid laners have backed and TP'd back to lane, and yeah, we do see the call, we do see the tier being started for Mysterious, so looking to safely scale into the mid game and have that going for him.
Yeah, hopefully we'll just be seeing both teams trying to set up around the Drake shortly. Bob Bartender does have push in mid, and that will allow Rutabond and Hezbollah to go into this river and try and do something with that.
Yeah, and we can see a lot of river control here for Visu. It's quite important, as they do not actually want to give this early Drake. Ridley is one of those champions that can take it a little bit earlier. I wouldn't say the same for J4, so he would need some help from his bot lane. And it's an Infernal Drake as well, so it's not very tanky, but does do a whole bunch of damage. As we do see, Drake has been started up, and it's safely going to go over.
Just clean that one up.
Yep.
And there it is, Herkotif securing that one for Visu. Not much you can do with this early matchup in mid. I mean, you have priority in both mid and bot, so just give that one up. It's not too bad. It is the first Drake. It's not the end of the world.
So we have a Hextech second here. The UI element is a little bit bugged. Gotta love Spectator. And yes, mid lane is kind of just going fine. Not much gold is happening right now. Gold is pretty even, actually a little bit of ahead for Mysterious.
Oh, really good flash there, but unfortunately not able to get Mysterious. Really good timing from him as well on the W, but now we have Goober onto Herco here, and Herco might be the one caught out. Spear does miss, and he's able to get out with his own spear. Unfortunate there, neither team really getting the kill that they wanted to get in that position.
Oh, that's huge. Nobody from ESP actually burning their flashes. Herco having to burn his, or burning his on the engage, and Koryo was just able to safely fly away. So that is a lead that ESP can try to find a hole in, and try to abuse.
That is the plan, at least. You have now got the setup over the rift. You know that J4 can't be here, so unless these two do want to contest, that should hopefully be a Rift Herald secured.
Yep, red buff just spawned. They know about that, and yep, that means Rift can be taken pretty safely. They know actually no. Gerber did take the top camps, and I don't think Visu is actually aware of that. Because there's no vision. Bob might have scouted that. The oh my gosh, I never remember the camp names. I want to say Wraith, but it's not the Wraith. Gromp was taken. Still chickens. Still chickens.
Yeah. Chickens, raptors, whatever you want to call them. Get the general idea. Actually, quite interesting that Mysterious has the push here at the moment. He's actually gotten he's got one plate too.
Yep. So, in an okay position, he does have that Warhammer, so does have the AD, some cooldown reduction, and we do have the Lost Chapter as well. So, building slowly into the components, top lane. Unsure if he's going. Elijah is going Sunfire or what's the other one called? Slow one.
Frostfire.
Frostfire and Sunfire. Thank you. So that will be. I think both is fine here. Maybe Frostfire is the better one, just to have more slow, just more setup for the Nidalee. So yeah, we do see these two moving here as a unit. You saw them moving into the bot lane, or the bot side jungle, quite well together, making sure that they can get some vision in that area, make sure that Nidalee is not able to get a surprise gag bot lane. Yeah. So we see this trade pattern all the time. Victor places down his gravity field. Corki flies away, takes a little bit of damage, trades back, and yeah, that is one of the things people say when they don't like Corki mid lane in general. It's just so boring. It's the same.
Really is, though.
It's the same with us here, right?
Yeah. You farm, and as a spectator, all you're doing is watching these two players on each team click buttons on minions with correct timings, and it's just a battle of who does that better. It's who can be more like Chovy than the other player.
Fair enough. Alright, we have Drake spawning in 30 seconds now. We can see both Bruto, Bond on De Leona, and MCR try. Oh wait, hold up in there. Package having to be used here because Orko found an engage on Mysterious. And the river is actually quite dark. We do see a rift here being popped. It's going to get some charges off.
Yeah, cash in some plates here before this objective spawns. However, these two are more numbers. SP are down. They do have TPs, but these aren't unleashed yet. So they can TP to towers, but it's unlikely that's ever going to happen here. So.
Yep, Bob did TP mid for this. Corki being chunked quite heavily here as well, so yeah, that is most definitely going to be a second Drake going over to VC.
And now you have to think, well, ESP have the gold, but these have these two Drakes. They have a Victor, they have a GP. They have, well, I mean, obviously you have the Corki on the other end, but you have a lot of scaling in these two champions that really benefit from these Drake stacks.
That was not Cheryl.
So, how do you think that ESP should be going about their game plan from here to be able to counteract this? What do they need to do?
Well, as we said in the first game, scaling. Like, Corki needs to get online ASAP. We do see Frostfire coming in for Mundo, which I would prefer over the Sunfire. A lot of fire.
There's a lot of fire in the game.
Yep.
I
Mountain
mean, there's a
Drake as
champion that
well.
is literally on fire. Brand exists.
That exists.
I mean, Ignite's fire.
That's fair, yeah. But yeah, so Corki just needs to get online ASAP, and unfortunately, Gubber's actually not helping that much with getting online. Papa here in a odd position, but that is the flash coming in from Harko.
Yeah, not sure if you quite have enough damage here, but I think that collapse is their first blood for Bopper. Can you get Dempsey as well? Flash out of that one. Maybe another spear will do it. Going onto the tower for this one. Herko will go down to the tower, so that's 1 for 2 currently in the top lane in favor of Isu.
Yeah, and that's pretty okay trade for both actually. It's a 1 for 1. Actually, no, sorry, it's a 2 for 1. My bad. Can't even count properly.
I've been there before. I mean, every now and again you look at the score lines on the side, and you're like, oh well. I mean, I can see the red here. I can see the red here. And
Yeah, yeah. It's like, wait a minute. So yeah, I think that's an okay trade for both teams. Actually, I think they're happy with actually picking up something, especially ESP picking up that 1 kill. And Herco playing quite aggressive here. Mysterious actually should be able to get this tower, right?
Yeah, that will be first turret into the Corki. A lot of gold
Gameplay.
and that is what we like to see.
Yep.
Corki getting more gold. That is what he needs.
Yep, we just need to have those huge ultimates. Just packages doing as much damage as possible. Packages, rockets doing as much damage as possible. Yeah, and a package. So we do see the first mythics coming in. Gameplan going for the Divine Sunder, not going for the Whippo controversial build with Triforce, Infinity Edge, and then 3.
I mean, I understand. I mean, it did completely chunk out that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a fun build.
It's fun build. I mean, it's what
I'm
you use.
not really a GP connoisseur myself, unfortunately.
I played a champion twice in ARAM, I think that's about it. But yeah, so the thing is though, with that build, it is what you used to do before the Infinity Edge changes. We just like get as much crit as possible, and then just do damage. We do see other mythics coming in though. Kraken coming in from Ash, and M4 it did decide to pick up the Gale Force. There's basically no other mythic that really is viable for Jhin, anyways.
Not anymore. In the past, you had Eclipse as a build
Yes.
option, but it is Gale Force every game.
It is Gale Force every game. Oh no. Don't go collect your second item. Oh no.
Yeah, no, it's really bad.
Oh no.
As a Jhin player, I agree. I go collector sometimes on Jhin, but this is in
Yeah,
solo
that's
queue and
fine.
into teams where you have much lower health bars. But LDO here, or even if you want to have the Storm Razor, I don't think Storm Razor is good in this spot.
Why would you go
LDR
Storm
is-
Razor?
Into some teams, it can be quite good if they're squishier and you want slow for the with the RFC for like as a slight engage option.
Okay. Yeah.
But the LDR 100% is the best option in this game.
Alright. Yeah, so we do see the Drake setup being extremely well done by VSU yet again here. Berto looking for an engage on Gubber. Finally puts down that ward, so they do know that they have been spotted. Gubber does have the Rift here. TP's to a trap out of all things. The Rift Herald here should be put down before the fight starts, so at least ESP gets something on the map. And you can see right now it's extremely volatile. One misstep from anybody right now. Mysterious does have the package. So yeah, one misstep and the fight is going to break out immediately.
That is it. Both teams looking for their opening here. This is a mountain. ESP really want to secure this so that we don't get onto soul point and preventing that soul stacking. And they will get the priority over it. That should be the mountain break done in a short period of time. What did it? Cataclysm engage package right into the middle of the team, doing a massive amount of damage, splitting the entire team out. Curtain call from the top end, really low health bars. They should be able to pick up Bruto Bomb momentarily. Will be able to escape on a very small amount of health. Rob Bartender having to flash out of Nautilus Q. Lurker going back in, but I don't think that's enough to be able to do it. These health bars are so low, but there isn't a kill yet, as we do get the kill eventually by Mundo.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is an extremely close fight, and I think ESP is very happy with that one. Do you have the question of how many games have they won? They're currently 1-1 in the record.
It's really good that they get the tower there before that Rift Tower charge goes.
Oh, wait a
off.
minute. Oh.
Yeah,
A little
not
bit.
quite.
I'll give her flash 8 level 7. So yeah. Yeah, ESP should be very happy with that one. I think Visu was actually a little bit scared. I'm not too sure. I think they could have taken that fight quite happily, honestly, because yeah. But ESP has managed to now slow down the game plan for Visu, so that is going to be a-okay. Getting that turret as well.
I think the big thing there, at least in that team fight, from my side, was the positioning of Jin. M4 with the curtain call, in addition to where that package came from, just gave Visu a really hard time being able to actually approach ESP, and they just have to keep backing out until ESP goes forward. The only problem is that ESP doesn't chase necessarily as well.
Yeah. It was a little bit like I was questioning it a little bit, like why? Oh. Asher missing, Leona.
Asher are gonna miss. Soloflare will hit onto Dempsey, trying to look for this kill onto Noiseless. Massive spear from Goober, and that'll pick up the kill. And Bruno going down as well. Curtain call will be opened, but ESP looking dominant once again.
And that should be Baron. It's up in 10 seconds. And yeah,
Baron up in 10.
And Miramana completed for Cork here as well. So yeah, back to the Drake fight there though. I was questioning for M4 positioning himself in the mid lane to catch the wave, like okay, you need somebody there. But the ultimate was so good, and the package as well was very, very well done from Mysterious. And now we do see Visu has to fight into this choke point that they really don't want to go into. Mysterious here.
Completely zoned away. Massive Corky damage. Will get the Cataclysm onto Mysterious, but he is currently trading okay. Hergodiff will pick up the kill there, but they kill the Victor, and now they're going to kill the J4. J4 does trade onto the Nautilus, so it is a 2 for 2, but ESP get the Baron.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a very okay trade. For ESP getting the Baron, which they should be fine, like they're very happy with, but also getting those 2 kills. It's 2 for 2, sure, but the kills does go over to the correct people. So yeah, we can bring up the gold graph here. I would expect. I'm actually not sure what I'm expecting. Yeah, pretty steady increase. So almost at 6.4k at some points there with the Baron. So yeah, ESP right now in a really good state, and CS per minute, how are we looking here, boys? 11? Okay. From Gangplank, not bad, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty solid there on that. I mean, at the end of the day, ESP have a very sizable gold lead for 20 minutes, and they are looking to leverage it with the Baron buff that they do have, splitting currently in multiple lanes, see if they can split the attention with the 3 members that do have the Baron on.
Yeah, and we do look at the gold tab here for the players, and right now, every member except the support from ESP actually has more gold than the opposite. So it is literally ESP.
Not sure about this dive. Well, the GP ult will go down, but you get the Corky Flash, and that's what you came there for.
Yep. However, they do trade Corky Flash for a turret, so that's okay. And Elijah is actually massive right now. How much HP is he on right now? Shit, 3.2k max HP.
Yeah, I mean, 3-0, 204 farm. You're sitting pretty. You know, you play Mundo right now, you're very happy. You're gonna get another Mountain Soul in a moment, provided that ESP do secure it. Okay, maybe looking for a steal. No,
Yeah.
right.
Wait a little on that one, yeah. And I mean, right there, Visu is not really in a position to actually walk up and get some of that vision that they need for that. And you can see on the map right now, it's extremely dark for both teams. Not too sure what that one was. The M4 having the random W and the Poro emote. But yeah, Baron buff will be done in about 5. It's actually already done, my bad. So yeah, they did manage to pick up a sizable chunk lead with that, like about 3k gold again from that Baron. Yeah, we should bring up the gold here, or items, my bad. And Ash's item is incorrectly. M4 is a little bit questionable with that collector. And he does have a pickaxe second, which means what exactly?
Infinity Edge.
Infinity Edge, okay. So he's going for the crit, that's fine, but still would like LDR much more. He's not actually going to do a whole bunch of damage to the people he actually is going to hit. Which is going to be that J4 and that Leona.
Just gonna fire off, I mean, you know they're there, come on. Okay, well,
He doesn't have
Catwoman
flash.
goes down.
But he
Don't have
lives.
flash anymore. He will die to Bruto, but you got the rest of the team of ESP coming back. Bruto bomb taken down very low. Curtain call on the other half here. Goober going in for a little play there. I'm not sure about that one, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end.
Yeah. And that is a trade Visu is happy with. They do get the Kirky to get him down. Not too sure, I believe it was Herko who got it. Maybe it was even Papa. So yeah, at least getting one kill in their pockets. But ESP is just going to...
Oh, really over. I mean, a little bit more damage there and you secure a kill, but I think you've gone a little bit too far, ESP, as Bopper is now on a killing spree with the Nautilus kill.
Yeah, that is a huge mistake and overextension from M4 there. Dempsey actually coming in clutch with the save. And you gotta thank your support after that one and say sorry for me being an absolute idiot for going for that. Not too sure as to what he actually was expecting with that, because he was definitely limit testing.
Yeah. Gale Force, in addition to 4-shot, does a lot of damage, but with the amount of gold you currently have, it doesn't do that amount of damage.
Yeah.
Either way, ESP, AK gold lead. 2 Drakes, Drakes are even.
Drakes are even, yep. But they do have those two mountain drakes, so they have a lot more resistances. Baron is up in about 15 seconds. We will probably see both supports here should be warding. Cobra actually on the bot side now. I guess he wants to clear this and immediately go to Baron. Unless they are actually looking for a play here. Him showing here might actually do
you
a
can
mistake.
get the kill onto Bopper, it might just be fine, and he just gets one shot by Gubber on the Niddly.
Yeah, that was a really clean combo. That's one of those you dream about. Good animation cancel on his E. And yeah. I would expect a little bit more of a reaction. Holy.
Damage, a lot of
Damn,
damage
Elijah's
coming
so
out
tanky.
from this Kraken sec. Cataclysm onto 2, but US the J4 gonna take too many, and that was the execute M4 was looking for earlier. Gets it onto the Ash, really clean there. Elijah picking up another one, Bruto in the middle of them, but that's 4 kills, that's 5 kills, that's an ace, and that is probably the game.
Yeah, clean ace coming in from ESP. They're very well done. Elijah just showing, just being the tanky mother that you are, and yeah, just having a great time.
Well, there goes the game. You could have ended. If you're a little bit safer, But I mean, you got 10,000 gold.
Yeah, no,
in the
that's
back
fine.
pocket. Drake spawns in 4 seconds. They can't really contest the objective, so good stop point. Play out another team fight, and then look to end off.
So yeah, that is going to be soul points. Going to be pretty happy with that one. And well, Visu is going to respond with a Baron here, which I believe it would be the right call for Visu, but I believe ESP actually just made the right decision by going for Drake here. Like, it's fine.
I'm not sure if Mysterious made the right decision going in there. Almost got himself killed.
Didn't burn Flash, but
yeah. At the end of the day, he didn't lose Flash. He didn't actually lose out by doing it. But Visu now has the Baron. How should Visu be using this Baron buff?
Right now,
put up a fight.
They should just save it either mid or top, because they have the objective bounties. They did get about it's a 600 gold you get from neutral objectives. Anyways, they're definitely going to get 250 gold from the mid lane or the tier 1 turret. So honestly, right now they just want to get one of those objectives. They want to get those bounties down. But I'm not sure how safely you can actually do that, because right now, sure, you have Kraken and LDR, but Elijah on the Mundo and Dempsey on Nautilus is just so damn tanky. Right now, Elijah actually has almost 4k HP and Dempsey is nearing 3k, so... Yeah, like, okay, yeah, that is a sizable chunk of damage, but... Buddy, what is this regen?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way the Mundo is. Tank
Yep.
these things up and then eventually be able to regen it back up with
Yep.
passive. Spirit Visage helping that a little bit as well. Healing out. Just defense for Visu. Try and keep as many structures as you possibly can to prevent ESP from being able to go into your base. Chance of Crystal Arrow goes wide. I don't think you're ever going to hit that one.
And yeah, they are just happily sieging here. Don't know, bot lane, Quirky, Victor just having a blast. Doing what they always do. We can bring up the gold tab. Nidalee actually on 13.6k gold. Closely followed by the Gangplank. Is there actually a way we can see how much gold that Gangplank has actually gotten? Don't think there is a way, unfortunately, from his passive. But still, should be pretty happy. He is definitely the most fed member of the team. So it does have LDR, Divine Sunder, and Mortal Reminder, so is looking to shut down that Mundo as much as possible, as he is probably the main problem right now, except, like, as long as you can dodge Nidalee Spears.
Yeah.
The Mundo is the biggest problem. He will literally just run at you. You cannot CC him. Or, well, actually, you can CC him. But the issue is... Oh, the buff almost there. The issue is, you are going need to burn the CC that you would need to burn on the backline on Mundo just to halfway stop him. You need 2 pieces of CC to stop him. And then Ashe just needs to dish out as much damage as possible. And yeah, it's just a huge problem.
Yeah, that is part of the Mundo. Having that unstoppable element is passive. But at least for me, I think Visu, you're looking at this GP right here. You're looking at the 4-1 GP. He has this large amount of gold, the second highest in the game, right? And you got an objective coming up in a minute. How should Visu play around the GP? Because it seems like the GP is their answer and their way back into the game.
Yep. See, the siege has begun there. Nice animation cancel on Dempsey there, or animation buffering. And we see there, that was it. Oh, it's so much. Now Drake is going to be spawned up. And you can see here, there's a very split. Quirky is on the backline here. They do have the vision that they get from Ash Hawkshot. But here comes the
GP Barrage goes down, Solar Flare onto Goober, having to go golden in response, but Mundo tanking up 3 members of the team, still alive, flashing out into safety, gonna be able to regen. That's 4 kills now. You haven't even lost a single member, and you just aced the enemy team!
How does Mundo survive that? He should not be able to survive that at all. The surrender even coming in here knowing that the game is over. And camera, what are you doing?
I have no idea, just wants to follow Nautilus. What
Okay.
can I say?
No?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, that was an impressive team fight.
Yeah, that was
You just killed everyone.
That was brutal, not being able to pick up like a singular kill there. Like, oh my gosh.
I mean, GP barrels.
Yeah,
They hurt.
Yeah, no, that was pretty well played. It looks pretty good for Visu quite early on in the game, but they kind of just lost themselves, and you know, it was just able to fall back. Largest critical strike, 1,000, almost 1,000. But Jiner 1,500.
I mean, it's 4th shot, right?
Yeah.
That's quite likely to happen. You know, you get someone like 30% health. You click once with a 4th shot. Do the rest of the health bar in a crit.
Yep. So ESP managed to go 2-1, picking up their 2nd win of the evening. Is looking to play 2 more. Gonna look at how the other matches are going right now, and looks like, yeah, there's 2 more. 2 more matches currently still going.
Yeah, 2-1, 2 more to go. Again, not sure about the qualifications and what you need to get into that, but the more wins the better, that's the general premise. So, we're waiting on anyone? I'm assuming we're waiting on some team.
Yep, 2 games.
Let's have a look. Yeah, 2. I see that. Hopefully not as long as last time. I mean, 1 hour long game. Yeah. Let's go and look at the bracket, and we do see majority of the teams have got 1. It seems like, yeah, most of the teams have 1, and then followed by 2, and then there's only 11 teams in the bracket with 3 wins so far. So very much looking to catch up in the bracket at the moment.
Back everyone. It's been a little bit now. The games took a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time to create the lobby as well, so
We're ready for hopefully be a bang up last game.
yeah, hopefully spectator doesn't bug out.
Yeah, exactly. It's worth noting, of course, that last game, which we could not spectate, SP did win, and it was quite a decisive one. Went about 21 minutes. Interesting to see that that was just a bit of a stomp.
Yeah. Oh, what was one of those games? Would have been nice to see.
Yeah, how I got to that site. Oh, you guys.
Alright, so we are going to get into Champ Selector any second.
Yeah, once everyone's all settled in and we get everything going, at least in regards to expectations, there's a lot of Samira, there's a lot of Aurelia, and there's a lot Pike. So those 3 champions might end up being respected. In the pick ban,
Yep, we'll see if another Bard ban is coming in, because I'm pretty darn sure it is.
yeah, 4 games now we've had that. It's had a 100% ban rate. See if that changed at all. Nidalee getting banned once again though.
Yeah. Arctic is the one who is going to take that away.
I think at this point you just have to take it away from Goober. I think it's just too much of a threat on him at this point. You just leave it out of comfort. You put him onto a different champion, and it might be a little bit different. Although it seems like last game the Gwen was also a force to be reckoned with.
Yep, Sinjo ban here. I'm completely fine with that. We do see the Bard hover ban.
I mean, it's hovered. Probably will come through. Oh no. No. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Right. So 100% ban rate across all of these games. Just not gonna get the opportunity to ever play it. Happens to me every time in Clash with Aphelios, honestly. And yeah, likewise on the other end of the Aurelia now. 99 games of ranked played on that Aurelia this season.
Yeah, it's quite decent, honestly.
Yeah. Small amount of games.
Yeah.
Right, and that should be the Gwen locked in as the last one, of course. Again, putting some respect on Goober's name. Jinx. And Zeri.
Zeri B needs to lock it. And again, like, not that good of a champion.
Yeah, so far we have not seen the Zeri actually perform. I mean, it's the same, very similar build each time with the Triforce. The issues are there we've spoken about it multiple times in regards to the way that Zeri can actually put out damage. It's not a B1 Renekton, but it's an R1.
Well, I mean, Nidalee is banned, so some of that setup that was gained has been removed. We do see Jhin being locked in, so there is at least some setup in the back. I don't know, Jhin into Zeri, that's... I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, well, she might not be able to land the W. The amount of move speed that Jhin gets from generally going fleet footwork on top of the passive move speed and then a Gale Force typically allows using a Gale Force to be able to come in and execute Zeri quite easily. So it's not terrible if you can get in range of it, but I think the main reason for the Jhin is being able to set up for the Renekton using Curtain Call and the Deadly Flourish.
Yep. So we have sets, can go top, can go mid, as we did see last game. The one we didn't see.
Could go support, could go jungle.
Set jungle, no thanks.
Set jungle is it's been a long time since Set jungle was actually
Yeah.
if you really wanted to push it, it's technically a quad flex, but realistically it is just a triple. Especially with the Poppy locked in, that is the support top jungle, but most likely will be jungle given what we've been seeing. And then Victor comes through, just pretty standard. Well, Victor's up, Advay's about to come through. Let's pick one of the best control mages that we have available on the patch. Give it a spin ourselves this time round, as we've had the Corki. We've been on the Corki side of the Victor Corki matchup. And now the question is whether the Corki will be banned as the Ori comes out.
Ari being banned away here? Why?
Yes, that's new patch, of course. Ori is now actually a viable champion
No.
with the mini rework.
I don't
know
think so.
about 5v5.
Because she does not bring anything to the table, really. It's not really anything, like, it does not do any damage unless you get extremely ahead early, which you shouldn't do, because Ari does not have any early damage because of the removal of a removal of the charm bonus damage. So it kind of, it's like, I guess it's a champion, but it's an okay one.
I think the main thing is it's more of a generalist answer of the amount of mobility we're provided. Slight utility, not quite as reliant on Everfrost now. There are some spots, but right now I think the question is, why would you pick Ari over picking Victor, over picking Corki, not Corey, and there is the Corki right there, or over something like a Rise, which all three do superior damage, offer more to a team in terms of utility, and just completely overshadow the pick.
Yeah. Yeah, we did see the Karma, we did see the Nautilus ban, and then we did see the Veigar ban coming in last from ESP here. I'm not sure. Like, that Ari ban could have easily been a Corki ban, and I'm not sure as to the reason why. I guess maybe something on the stats page. Let me see here.
Oh, and
yes,
that might be the pocket pick Pike.
Oh, baby. Yeah, that is an okay.
Get locked in.
That is an okay pick. So it actually is worth noting. Ark's mid laner has played Ari. 3 games of it, lost all 3. So,
Yeah,
Not
that's
too
an interesting one. I think people need to go into the lab and really see if Ari is, with the changes, actually useful in these situations, as that is a Lilia. Now, it's been a while since we've seen some Lilias around.
Oh no.
But I'm not sure about having this. I'm not sure about having the double AP here. And the issue with Lilia is you need winning lanes, or at least pushing lanes, generally. So I can see some problems with that.
For sure, yeah. I'm not too sure about it. It has a spot, or it has a place, yes, but I don't think this is the game. Like, I guess a little bit of the thought process behind it is it's fine. It's a fine pick into Poppy because you have a lot of utility, you have a lot of movement, but you don't have a dash. So you're actually...
The W counts as a dash. So if
Oh.
you W into Poppy, it will actually skew all that.
Well then.
Yeah, that's also part of the reason is your W is less useful into this. Don't really get necessarily as much, which means that Lilia doesn't. Let's just put it this way: if Poppy meets Lilia in the early jungle, Poppy will beat Lilia. That's just the gift. So you don't really win 1v1 jungle.
No.
You need winning lanes. Yes, you have a really fast clear, but that's about it. This also leaves Renekton and Leona as like your sole frontline for Jhin Victor, which is not reliable because Renekton wants to be diving.
Yep. He's going to be diving past that Poppy, and that Poppy is going to knock him up, and then Seth is going to ult him back into his team and do damage, because Renekton is building HP. And that is going to be about it.
As for the other side of draft, I think the main issue you're seeing is, yes, both Set and Poppy are relatively capable frontliners, but you are leaving your team quite thin outside of that. Which means that if you're leaving your team, because Set and Poppy, they do have peel, but
Yep.
it's not as strong as running other champions in those slots, if you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's also not too sure about, like, okay, Leona Jhin is a pretty good lane, or it's a pretty fine lane. It's pretty okay. Pyke Zeri? What?
Yeah, now... I mean, I suppose there is an element of comfort with the Pyke.
Yeah, for sure.
If
for
Zeri's
sure.
just gonna sit back, you can just have the Pyke unlocked and use the Pyke to roam and try and make plays elsewhere.
Yep. It's definitely going to be something similar to that line, yes. Pyke, like we saw the 3 games that we did see. Dempsey played quite well. Like, he roamed quite well, I would say. So he's definitely not going to be outmatching the roam of the Pyke, because Pyke does have that built-in movement. Like, he has everything he wants essentially to roam. But you still have a lot of playmaking potential on Leona. Just go mobility boots, and you can move around the map as well, just not as efficiently. And I'm still not convinced Zeri is one of those champions that you can leave alone in lane and, you know, be fine.
I mean, this is generally why we see the Zeri picked alongside enchanters such as Yumi, for example, being quite a good combination. Karma can work really well as well. Any of these champions that can provide Zeri with movement speed and healing or shielding, which helps her survive and just completely stall out lanes with the mobility. But when you take that away, all you're left with is mobility, and until you get some items online, somewhat lackluster damage.
Yep. And yeah, one thing I actually didn't think about is Lilia and Renekton is going to be running at you, and it's quite projected, so Poppy can easily channel that ultimate.
Yep, that is another element of this. It's interesting that, I mean, Leona was picked after Poppy, right?
Yes.
If I remember correctly. Let me bring up the draft. Yes, it was. So I do find it interesting that it's been opted into. The Leona has been opted into the Poppy, alongside the fact that you already have a Renekton, and the Lily was also opted into. So might be a slight blunder there. But you have CC. You have a lot of CC. In fact, every member of Esp's team has CC.
Yep. That is a very fair point, and hopefully something they will play around, because they need to play around it. It's definitely going to be challenging to find a good fight for ESP, though. Arctic can somewhat find a whatever fight they want whenever, almost, it feels like. So yeah, it's probably going to be similar to the games we've had already, where it's going to be the supports roaming around, trying to make, or hopefully making plays. Junglers, I'm not too sure about how I feel like the jungle matchup is going to go, because
I think
I don't know how Lilia is being played anymore.
yeah, I
Like-
mean, you full clear. That's what you do. You sit there, you full clear, and then you hope your lanes are actually doing in a decent way, because you're not going to be ganking for a little while. Your ganks are pretty bad, especially if your Poppy's coming through as your enemy matchup. You're already going to have priority into the ganks, so that's a very big issue there. But once you're farmed up enough and you just basically play for objectives after that for the rest of your team, that's what you should be doing.
Pulse.
And I think currently, I mean, seeing the Dark Harvest, it should be a Leandries coming through as the Mythic, I would expect.
Yeah. So we actually do as well see clans coming in from Seri. So
I mean, when everyone has CC on the enemy team, especially Leona, I mean, I think you always go cleanse. Alright, and we're loading onto the rift right now. Any expectations at level 1?
Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, poke your head around some bushes, maybe set up some wards.
yeah,
Nothing out of the ordinary.
that's about it.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Nah, that Jin dance is great.
Huh. So, anyways, just hear that in like my right ear, just like being there.
I have a pet peeve about that skin. The way Jin holds the gun in certain situations when he's holding 4-shot can be a bit annoying with the animation. But outside of that, the skin is very clean.
Yep, we do see the stalemate in mid. It's going to be one of those games, so it's not going to be too particularly exciting.
Okay. I think that is the most vision pings I've ever seen spammed at one time. I mean, fair play, but sure, I have no words.
Yep.
Now, something that's worth noting is the Lilia going for chicken start. Very fast chickens where you can just half straight into Krugs and do the rest of your full clear. Lilia will be done faster than Poppy, so it will depend on. I mean, I expect it just full clear into breeze set into more full clear because I don't think you're going to be able to get pressure anywhere.
Yep. It's definitely going to be a little bit resident sleeper. Like both of these junglers doesn't really do too much. Before 6, like sure, Lilia does a little bit, and Poppy do have a little bit of a gank as well, but it's not too much exciting.
Okay, gonna get the stun back, but alright, gonna trade back with the enhanced auto. Both health bars looking very low, little skirmish on top side. Belly Forest does connect. Leona gets flipped over, almost dying to the ignite there. Gonna burn the heal as well. Look, traded onto a Mega Fire. ADC getting very low in return for the support getting very low on ESP.
Yeah. One thing I just noticed, that's a set with lethal tempo. And why? Do you literally just want to punch people? Like, is that your that's your entire goal?
Into the Renekton lane. If Set's building a bulk first, the second item, I mean, he's gonna be doing a lot of box damage to the Renekton, and it means if Renekton goes on all in on a set, whilst Renekton can shatter the shield, I think the lethal tempo ends up gaining a lot of value in an extended trade.
Yeah, botline's gotta be careful here though, none of the junglers is around. But pretty much every summoner from ESP has been used except Flash, and Seri and Pike still has all some. Actually no, they don't have the ignite, my bad.
There you go, trying to go fishing for something here, but I mean, can only get so much with your pike hook.
Baller actually
will connect. The burn should kill Flash away.
Not
Okay,
sure.
yeah, not quite enough damage this early on.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure as to the reason why you decided to flash that, because you know he has flash. You're just hoping that he doesn't react in time, but at the same time Corki is there's no reason to actually burn that flash. Flash on Lilia is quite useful because, you know, you can flash Q that animation or flash Q, get that ultimate off, and well, certainly get a whole bunch more value out of you. But
yeah, I would agree that the Lilia flash is generally more valuable than the Corki flash here. Although if you're trying to go for some more plays in mid, Corki not having that flash might allow Mysterious to perhaps get a kill into him with the pressure that he currently has. Raiden in top lane, I mean, it's just going to be set Renekton doing set Renekton things and fighting each other.
surely, but the issue is Corki has mobility, Lilia does not, except, well, extra movement speed. Other than that, not really much. So do you see both of the supports mid here? Pings coming out as they do have a vision on Leona there. So they're deciding to just back off.
Alright then, I mean, just Mysterious here showing that the Victor side of the Victor Corki matchup is definitely favoured early on into the game once again. We've seen this, how many times have we seen this today? We've seen this 3 times?
Yeah.
3 times, yeah. Great stuff. At least people recognizing that these are 2 of the most potent picks here in the mid lane at the moment. But it is so exciting to watch.
It's riveting. So M4 looking for the fourth shot might be a huge mistake though.
Flash E here, gonna get flipped back in, ignited, and M4 disrespecting the pike there, and that's gonna be first blood donated over to X Megafire.
And
Red team has slain the dragon.
yeah, you get the Drake, but first blood goes over to the Zeri. One of the things if you don't want to, and there was zero reason for you to walk up there. You only get the 4th shot off. There's nothing more you can do. You get 4 shot off and you get more damage. It's not a kill. It's literally just 1st shot. And you traded your life for it.
Overstepping into pike lanes is never something you want to do, especially if you're an ADC and your support is not thrown forward. Mysterious could be getting collapsed on here, but
He already used his ghost way earlier there. What? Hold on, what?
Oh, he should get a solo kill onto Pillow though. Pillow just not really thinking about his positioning there, and Victor damage is quite a lot.
Yep. I guess Lilia burning Gorky Flash was worth it after all.
Yeah, would have been able to get out there otherwise.
Yep.
I mean, it shouldn't have been, but that's not the point we're gonna have.
Huh. Top
Dominus
though.
getting popped. Showstopper in return. Set generally wins this, but Goober's there to help make the play work, and that will be a kill over to Dadir.
He flash and he cancelled his W animation to flash away from the set W there. That was beautifully played by Prince Elijah. And gotta love it. Gotta love the Renekton doing things.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Set's pretty good in the matchup. Good cover from Goober to be there at the right times. Of course, next objective will be you'll be really looking at the Rift Herald currently, which is up, but currently neither team really looking to play for it.
Yep. Well, there is not much too exciting going on right now. We do see Poppy on our lockdown on the bot side, but other than that, not much they can do. The wave is in such a position that ganking here is pretty much impossible, and even if they were to go for a dive, Lilia is there. So, Yeah.
Alright, Pike hook back.
Ooh.
Oh, does catch with the Zenith Blade here. Pike getting dangerously low. One shot, stun down, ignite ticking, and that's a kill for Dempsey. Can they get another one to Zeri as we pivot back to the mid lane for a second for a trade? Currently in no man's land, but she does have the ultimate. How much can she fight? Oh, what is that E?
Oh!
How is that legal?
Alcove Gaming! Alcove Gaming, boys.
That is absolutely not okay. You know, you think about it, right? So you have your jungler and you have both bot support alive. You're in the middle of an alcove and somehow, yeah, I'm just gonna slide over the entire terrain and get out. Yes.
We out of there, boys. Oh,
Alright, Stu. Well played from Megafire to get out the situation, but not great.
for sure, for sure. But we do see Rift Herald being picked up here, so... I mean, the thing is though, with Zeri, like, Bard can do the same, right? But at least you can do something about it. Zeri literally just like skates out of there and...
Oh yeah. I feel like this is going to be like a really community opinion on this is just going to be Zeri is going to have this really bad reputation in time to come, I feel. Because of that E and because of the amount of usage she gets when she ults.
Goober's gotta be careful.
Yeah, Goober has to flash out of that one, or else a lockdown gets a pin and locks down the deer. So, this is the problem with the Lily matchup.
Yep.
However...
The thing is as well, though, he did not have to necessarily flash that one immediately. Hold on.
I imagine package was about to time out,
Yeah.
so just use it. But
If he picked it up, he picked it up at roughly 10 minutes, so...
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not keen on picking up immediately here, given the Drake respawn timer, because now you've just used package, you don't have it for this objective. And both teams are going to be looking to make a play for this. Poppy is in no man's land, dropping a Rift Herald, but you're behind enemy lines right
Nice.
now, and I think you're going to get caught out. Goober comes in with the ultimate, should be a bonk onto Poppy, and maybe another bonk onto Pike. The Pike in a short period of time, and that is a double kill for the deer in the jungle.
Absolutely nice response from ESP there, making sure that you are bot side there for the Drake spawn, not giving it up even though you don't have any vision, and having a good response to the play there. It's a little bit telegraphed with Poppy putting down the Rift Herald. So they did get some charges off, or did they get 2 plates, I believe? So yeah, quite nicely done.
But is it worth it though? I mean, you get 2 plates, you lose 2 kills, and you lose Drake.
It is definitely not worth it for Arctic. Like, it is on paper. It is a pretty good... It is a good engage. Like... But... some misplays... and a good response from ESP, and yeah, you just have a really good time.
So in the end, currently not a huge gold lead, about 1,000 and a bit. But the important thing is you have 2 Drakes. Lily is scaling up, got 3 items. Victor's got good enough farm, you're happy to wait it out. The fact that you have a lead this early on is nice, given the fact that you have these scaling champions, of course. Renekton is a little bit different, but hey, let's not talk about that.
Yep. And we do bring up the gold graph here. It looked pretty good early game for Arctic, but that fight in the bot lane really turned things around. Making sure, I mean, it's not factoring in the Drakes, of course. It's 2-0 actually on Drakes. So yeah, ESP right now is in a pretty decent state. It is Hextech Cloud as well, so, or Hextech Cloud, Hextech Drake Soul. And I don't think it's necessarily bad for anybody, but it's not really that good. Like, you would be happy with a lot of other things. Pretty much any Drake, honestly, would be fine. Mountain Drake would be fine, and Ocean Drake would be fine. Ocean Drake especially would be fine into the Corki, because that's a lot of poke that you can then or a lot of poke that won't stick. And we actually do see Leandris being picked up here for Gubber, so he has that completed. We do see an attempt at setting up the bowling ball from Lilia. It's going to miss. But that is... I'm pretty sure actually that might be turret here. I don't think... Hold on here, top side though. Renekton might be in a little bit of trouble. Settled comes down. Bot side though, Poppy did get the kill on Lilia, but there's a lot of stuff going around all over the map here. Corki is here and trying his best. Tempsaya should be able to flash this one out, as Seri is going to flash and try aggressive here. Mysterialis is here. The Victor all goes down, and there's
oh my
lord.
What is the Victor damage? Curtain call comes through. Can they make it onto Pillow? Yep, there's the chase. Really nice W route, and that is a dead Corki right there. Going to be able to do a lot of damage to Mysterious, but 3 kills for ESP. Sorry
Well,
had some stuff going on there.
Yeah, no, that was a good... That was a lot of action all over the map, and ESP definitely is the one that's... Oh, definitely the one coming out on top of that one. They do get the shutdown on Lilia though. I believe it was the 300 gold shutdown, so that's quite nice. Puppy being the one to pick it up. So, yeah.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
First turret, nobody's going to get proximity gold of it, sadly. But it does... I think it's like 150 proximity gold, I think it is. One thing a lot of people actually don't remember or think about is the fact that if minions kill a turret that has the objective bounty on it, there's no gold distributed. You need...
Is that actually the case?
Yes.
Ah.
No shutdown gold is awarded. So somebody just needs to... Like, it is literally worth going on it, just hitting it once and letting it die. Because as long as you get the like actual kill or assist or whatever it is, the gold will be distributed.
Well, good to know for future games, you know. Giving out the pro tips here. Just if you see an objective bounty and you haven't hit the tower, then hit the tower. As we do see ESP hitting right onto the set here, will be able to flash away with the Haymaker, get enough of a shield to live there. Lockdown, getting stunned up, massive lockdown by Elijah there, really well played by the mid jungle of ESP to connect this one. However, well, I mean, he's alive. The new healing on Lilia's passive, able to keep Goober alive from that one. Although, did have to burn the flash.
I'm worried you're gonna be... Oh, sidestepping. So Hextech Drink is up here, so, wait a minute.
I think that's a solo kill.
Yeah.
Yep, Elijah getting another one. Now we got a 2-0 Renekton and a 3-1 Lilia. ESP looking really in charge of this game now. 4k gold lead. And that should also be a Drake secured.
Yeah, and I would like to welcome in the Raiders here from Tinted Samson. Welcome in EU69 Raiders. Very nice.
Ooh.
As we do have some action all over the map here. It's very explosive, as we do have 13 kills at 18 minutes. And 3 Drakes already, so Lilia here actually seeming to be paying off quite nicely. I'm surprised.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the expectation in the game is that Lilia's going to have some problems in the jungle matchup, but as it turns out, Lockdown just didn't really use the pressure well enough. However, Jin, well, I mean, you took too much damage coming through, so now you're the one dying. Gale forced to get the kill. M4 really well played. Going to burn flash and a heal to get themselves out of there. TP coming in, maybe looking for a turn onto a Mega Fire here. Zenith Blade does not connect. I mean, you cover the Corki play. Can we kill the Corki? Probably not, but I mean, M4, very clean mechanics.
Yeah, he, in the middle of that, he flashed the Poppy dash. What a mad lad. Absolutely amazingly played. Good reactions there, and...
No, I mean, this is just a demonstration of Victor in this season, but unfortunately, the threat of the pike there, as well as the Corki, just being able to push out some damage back onto it. However, in the top lane we do have an asleep set, and that should be a dead set with another Q or two, and Guba gets another kill.
Yeah.
Although,
Pike getting their shutdown gold here,
returned in mid.
actually. No,
That's gold duplicated.
Yep. No shutdown gold, fortunately. But still.
Blade onto the pike here, seeing if ESP can make a play onto it. Arc lockdown is here, however, channeling that ult, making sure that not everyone's able to join and the rest of the team can escape okay.
Yeah, 1940 now, so that rift is... Oh!
Almost died to a minion. Wow.
No, that's Jin W.
Was it Gen W?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, rifts did despawn. There were several attempts here trying to take the Rift Herald, but none of them was actually successful. Objective bounty going over to Zeri and Arctic there in the bot side. But they are going to get 2 turrets here. I would believe top side here they should be able to get that turret as well. Minion's not going to take it actually. Not sure if Prince Elijah should have stuck around for it.
I think part of the thinking as well, you know, you have to wave in, but I'm going to hold that fort as there's a slight skirmish in the mid lane. They're only going to get out of there. I mean, the thing is with the top lane players that Renex is still able to farm the wave, it gets to still crash, so he can take the turret later when it's more important to have the long lane.
Yep. And all right, let's look at itemization here. So we actually have a second item Titanic coming in from Zeri here. We do see the team not already being picked up. M4 once again picking up the collector, and I don't agree with that one at all.
Yeah.
It's okay-ish. Like, it's not terrible.
Technically,
Technically, it's the wrong choice.
Yeah, it is. It does more damage against Corki, though,
Yeah.
than LDR, if I'm not mistaken. Corki and Pike will both take more from Collector, but Zeri is going to itemize health, which will push LDR over. So it is still the wrong itemization, but it still does... It does the job for Jen at the end of the day.
Yeah. And we have a second, like... Corki is not even finished his mythic item, and it has already picked up the Hex Drinker?
Hex Drinker, yeah.
Yes, Hex Drinker. So yeah, definitely itemizing against Lilia and Victor. Victor with that Shadow Flame, which... Ooh, whoa. That's an early Lilia.
Generally the correct second item, but obviously it depends on MR values. Earlier you get it, you can generally get more use out of it on the Victor, but it's worth talking a bit about more of Amaltius with the Hex Drinker, because that item got buffed.
Oh, heavily, definitely. Like, it's, in my opinion, when I saw that buff, like, I've always been hesitant on Astral, especially into AP heavy teams. Even though, like, okay, there's 4 AP users on the enemy team, and I'm an Astral main, right? And it's just like, is it actually worth going Hex Drinker and Mob them on Warriors? And this patch, the answer to that most of the time finally is yes, and it's a good defensive item. So I do like it. One thing I didn't like was Larson yesterday on Corki. I actually went shield bow. So very confused as to what that. Yeah, I
actually think the shield bow build's fine.
Yeah, but you want AP.
Oh yeah. It's a debatable one. Like both builds I think are perfectly fine at the moment. Poke build is also really insane. Either way, Corki does an obscene amount of damage no matter which build you go. It's just damage in different ways. One has more safety than the other. Both teams are currently standing off here. Will be able to get the dunk into free, but dies on impact. A little bit too much damage coming from the rest, and it's just a meat grinder from ESP as the Victor comes through, the Lilia comes through, and that's an ace.
Clean one as well. And the Drake, the soul has been picked up now, and that is just huge. Absolutely massive from ESP. Such a well-played fight. Set there going maybe a little bit too deep. Did get a good ultimate, but it does not pay off that well. And Poppy there, and Poppy is there. Yes, Corki Corki is just not online yet. He does not have his mythic item. He does not do enough damage. He does not have the crazy damage yet with his package. And Seri, as we have talked about earlier, is just... It's not doing that much.
The same thing I think we've seen in most games of the Zeri. The Zeri's there. Ends up dying last most of the time because of where she's positioned and the amount of move speed she has access to, but most of it just, it doesn't, because all she is a ball of damage with some speed on, and damage only when she gets some items up.
Yep. The ESP is playing this very well. They're going, they went hard early. They managed to get that early lead and scaling very well into the mid game. Although, battle of the movement speed here.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Lilia's got just as much move speed as long as she has those stacks stacked up. Also, 18 stacks on the Magizer right now. Steer is doing a lot of damage.
And with the demonic embrace here, I'm not too sure about this one, buddy, but sure.
That's a lot of burn in combination with your passive.
Too old on air, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Poppy going in everywhere, but you don't have the damage. That's 2 on the Sleepy, forcing out the package. 1 kill on the other end of the Zeri. Not sure what Mega Fire is doing there, and I think you just deathball it in the mid lane. I mean, you're burning down the pike. You have so much move speed on this deer. You get another kill. Lands the Swell Seed onto Pillow, which is nice, but it isn't going to matter. Might actually be able to end the game right here with the battle.
Yeah, that is pretty certain that is game, because that is just such a huge team fight, and if they, like, if we... Yeah, I think GG is coming in right now, and if we bring up the gold graph here for the last seconds of the game, like, it's a 12k gold lead at this point already, and it's just... Yeah, it's game, and ESP is just having fun right now. The Corki just never came online this game. And yeah, Victor was online pretty early compared to the other games we've seen, and yeah, generally well played from ESP.
Yeah, man, absolutely. End up with, at the end of the day, with banger of a game, Slaughterfest out there, and ESP in the end goes 4-1 in the calibration phase.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea where it's going to put them in seeding, because I think there might be some more games we played at a later date to finalize division standings, but definitely going into this with a solid start.
Absolutely, and I'm pretty sure gonna be end of the game with 25 stacks. Like, yeah, pretty confident. So, yeah, that's well played to ESP today. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the 4th game because of spectator bugs and all this reconnect stuff. Somehow, the Renekton paying off in 2 games, which I'm admittedly quite disappointed by. So yeah. So I believe we are going to play 4 more games tomorrow. Don't quote me on that. Let me double check the schedule here, because yep. So yeah, we don't have much more of a show to give you guys, unfortunately. Putting ESP quite high, up with some other people actually that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, how many people have got 5? Because that's one
right now.
1, right?
Yep. And
wow.
it is
Okay, yeah,
going
that
to
puts them in the top bracket.
Yeah.
I mean, there you have it. Really, really big going into that one. And, congrats to ESP for the games today. after the first game, really played well after that. Took it right on the chin and went through with it.
Yep. So, yeah, thanks you guys so much for watching, and make sure to stick around for and follow for more ESP gameplay, which is happening tomorrow, I believe. Trying to figure out the schedule here, but there is some.
Yeah, there is no schedule, unfortunately.
I'm
But,
trying to find one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matches tomorrow. I believe those are going to be scheduled at some point after all the games is completed. But we are done here for today. So thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. And yeah,
Absolutely much appreciated.
see you guys around.
See ya.